Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Needless to say, I'm keeping her in check. She was all bad, bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck. Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Thinking in a bad way, losing your grip. Screaming at my face, baby, don't trip. Someone took a big L on a wall that fell. Looking at you sideways, party on tilt. Ooh, some things you just can't refuse. She wanna ride me like a cruise, and I'm not trying to lose. Then you're left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower. Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no, no. Wish I could be there for you. Give me a reason to go. Every time I'm walking out, I can hear you telling me to turn around. Fighting for my trust and you won't back down. Even if we gotta risk it all right now. Oh, I know you're scared of the unknown. You don't wanna be alone. I know I always come and go, but it's out of my control. And you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by ya. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
I would pay a fortune to buy all the gas just to drive around the town with you. We would wake before the sun and throw out our maps, get gone till our hearts play in tune. And I would fly 1,000,000 miles away just to have you there to hold my hand. I would swim across the ocean, whatever it takes to know that I'm with you again. And oh, 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 no matter where we go, oh, oh, baby, I'll be happy. 'Cause when the morning sings, I think I've got me
Smiling, the sun, we end up getting stuck so perfectly. If you're the coffee, I'm the cream. Yo, what's up, fuckers? Hi, fishy, 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 fish. How's bed? How's fish? How are you doing, fish? Fish. Top of the morning, me Roman Soshi warriors. I'll stream our 4 artistic swords, braved ritual challenges, and our own fish kept the creek alive, even with tales of chimkin and forks. A grand shout out to our most chatty Centurion fish for their unwavering spirit. Now by Jupiter's beard, we're back for happy pride time for crying with Higurashi. Did you know potatoes are 80% water? Perfect for a good cry. Every follower helps us march closer to our next grand victory. So, let's fill this stream with good vibes. Will our Centurions brave the emotional depths, or will the tears flow like a river Shannon? Comfy, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Hey, do we want to do a meme? Do we want to do a little bit of a cheeky meme? I'm thinking I wanna adjust my frosty tools again. Perfectly. The Grand Coulee Dam was built on the Columbia River. A meme? Yeah, I kind of wanna adjust my frosty tools stuff. Specifically the starting thingy, the show starter or whatever it's called. All right, what's my? What? Yeah, Fish, I'm gonna need advice. I'm gonna need help and advice, and also I should add this one. I should add this one, because this is technically a screen share. I have my screen share, right? Screen share with Big is exactly the same. Oh, okay. It's literally exactly the same. Why do I have both of them? They're exactly the same. I don't care anymore, though. But I'm gonna add it to my stream deck. Stream deck. Copy. Paste. Big Games Pokemon. Big Games Pokemon, and I'm honestly that. Is there any difference? Is there... Standard overlay is above guest scene, and guest scene is above standard overlay. Interesting. Why is guest scene above standard overlay here? Oh. Doesn't really matter. I do have a redundant scene, apparently. Apparently I have a redundant scene. Anyway, smart chat bot. Wait. 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 That's oh, there we go. Just make your own. And I'll shake the tiny hands of all the worms that squirm beneath. And when I look down past the bug bites at my decomposing feet, turning back into the earth from which I've grown. Okay, save. Yeah, I don't know why it said none/default, which is disgusting. I would never want none/default. Don't care about. What are you? Reactive responses. Oh! Okay! Huzzah. Huzzah. Exclamation point. Save. Alright, just so that it's definitely saved. Fish, can you add Sushi Bot for me? If you don't mind. I'll befriend the fuzzy fungus blooming from my jacket pocket, and I'll smile at the maggots squirming round in my eye sockets. They're my brothers and sisters, taught me there's no way to stop it. The expanding sun approaches till we're burned. She'll whisper, tell me, darling, everything. There it is. Are you like totally waiting for me to like spill the royal tea? There we go. Okay, so it is existent. You know, you have to either reply or at them for them to actually say hi to you. And then this one, for some reason, also has to make your own. I mean, it's correct. Like it's. So I'm getting this. I'm getting rid of this. We're changing it from Roman Centurion to something else. So what do we want? What do we want? What type of historical anachronism do we want? What would be good with Ireland and... Oh, shit, yo! We've never been to Japan! I mean, we've been to Japan. Like, of course I've been to Japan. I've been everywhere around the world. So let's do Japanese something. What do we want Japanese? Do we want samurai? Do we want ninja? Do we want, like, a fucking Shinto monk or something? That would be kind of funny. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do... Alright, so... In Irish... Drawing... Moving. In Japan. Reference Shinto gods as well as Japanese events Perfect! Potato facts and Japanese cuisine. Okay. Perfect! Now we got a new show starter for next time I start stream. Wogue! Yeah, Wogue! Like, I like totally vesty, yeah? Exaggerate your emotions to be super expressive. Exaggerate your emotions. But be confused, but be off. Exaggerate your emotions, but as if you were a... Hey! Processing request. Like, oh my god, I'm SushiBot13, your totally medieval Valley Girl bot. My core programming is like an Irish shrine maiden from ancient Japan. It's for sure my whole vibe. Okay, interesting. You're not supposed to do that. That's interesting. You are not supposed to do that. That's weird. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, we'll plug it in the subbing tractor. I can remove this one, honestly. It was a funny meme, funny bit, but I can remove it because I want stuff. Mods are good. Immortal is lifted ages. And events. I can add fish. Fish is I can get rid of this. It's fine. I'm gonna give some. The Royal Researcher. Your Countess. Countess. Okay, like, for sure, you're totally the immortal Empress Pyro. You're, like, totally seen... You've, like, totally seen so many ages and events. It's, like, so epic. Alright, Fish, ask about yourself. Who am I? I can add my... Like, totally, like, the Countess, Fish, our brilliant royal researcher. It's, like, so obvious. See? Look at that. What was I trying to do? Oh, yeah. What emotes are my... What are my... Oh, Wave, lurk, love, cry, 07. Cry, lurk, wave, love. Up.
Petrified, don't believe it. Trying to hide, but I see you. Following shadows,
Favorite.
cause they feed you. Don't want me to. Voices, voices, head is full of voices. Some are good ones, some are poison. Following
Oh, yeah, it's cool, right, Fish? I love it. I love it. I love it. What are you afraid of? Afraid of the voices in your head. What are you afraid of? Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Let's see what it does now. Keep empath. Like, always knowing the vibe. Alright, I can accept that. I'm also cracking open a cold one now, finally. Fearless, I like to live the Kingdom's Royal Vanguard, like, always leading the charge. I don't know how it works and what it remembers and what it doesn't. Affirmative, Emperor Pyro. Fearless, the rider of Accord, like totally etched into my permanent data scrolls. Friendship protocols engaged. Oh shit, I put an extra T. Thanks, keyboard, for being broken. Royal Bard? Not even close. Not even close. Like, system error. Like, totally misfired. You guys sure, for sure, a Duke of the Empire. Dukes is the word. It's like so fetch. Really? Fetch. In this economy. Every time. It loves trying to make fetch a thing. Chickens for scrolls. Chicken. Chicken for scrolls. Don't hit me where it hurts. Say my name. The bad word. Say my name. Was there someone else that I was supposed to inform when I'm streaming? I'm supposed to be posting on Blue Sky. Alright, Blue Sky, Blue Sky, Blue Sky, Blue Sky, Blue Sky, Blue Sky, Blue Sky. We are going to try Ash Brown Rush post. Hi Dakota, did you get a notification? No, I didn't. I need to fix it. Okay, that's literally why I asked you. Like, you don't, obviously, if you're busy at work and stuff, you don't have to be here. I just wanted to know because I know that you have been having issues with not getting notifications when you've wanted to. And I'm, of course, I've opened up my phone and I'm looking at Twitter now, which means that there's porn. It's actually not porn. It's not quite porn. Oh, I love this. Fucking fetch me my armor. I'm going to do what contemporary youths refer to as locking the fuck in. I love this. I love this. I love this. This goes into me. This goes into memes. If you want to see what I'm fucking posting, I love it. I'm self-undiagnosing. Nothing is wrong with me. Yay.
I am not working today.
Oh shit, Fearless. What were you expecting?
Me? I mean, what?
Oh.
That's the plan.
Rule the world. I am not working today.
Wait, did you... Huh?
Did
Did you get shouted out twice, Fearless, somehow? Did
Me?
it just play the clip
Yeah,
twice?
wait, what?
Anyway, with my freeze ray, I will stop.
I looked away for a second and I got distracted. Oh, gods. Why? Yo, banger.
Everywhere I look, it seems like everybody's pairing off. I'm staring at the pairs like they were tits on Lara Croft. Even all the dogs I see are clicking, so terrific. Picking out their favorite puppy's ass to sniff and sticking with it. All the faker single ladies twerking to Beyonce. Every single one of them is somebody's fiance. You never spilled your guts.
Yo, anyone else like Watsky? Holy shit! Why is everyone reacting to my pride shit on? Oh, it's also there's also art. I forgot. Holy shit! 20 others. Fuck! I have never had anything pop off this much on Blue Sky before. Maybe I should commission more art. That's my own post. No, I wanted to post their post. Their post? Wait, didn't they? Oh no, they posted on Twitter. They reposted it. Okay. Fuck it. I've never had this much. Never. No one comments on my Blue Sky. Like no one looks at my Blue Sky. Yo, I'm reposting Kenya's hashtag pride because all he says is hashtag. Oh, that's my bad. I'm so sorry, Dakota. I'm so sorry. I opened up Mix It Up after I opened up OBS. Here, I'll do this one first.
Stop being a dumb fox.
That's so fucking fair, me. Wait, where? But how much does it cost? How much does Best Girl cost? How the fuck much does best girl cost? Where is it? Why do I not see it? Am I dumb? I'm dumb. Where is it? Oh, it's 666. Minute. Still a minute. Still a minute. It's still a minute. 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 Well, now it'll work. Now it'll definitely work. Now it'll definitely work. Here, let's even, while I'm here. It will? If I'm gonna be doing my own redeem, why the fuck not, right? Here. No, not that one. Not that one. I'm so fucking funny. I have not looked at any of my descriptions for any of my redeems in so long. I just clicked on the first redeem, and I see the description just says, yeah, right, like I actually care. I'm so funny. That's so funny. That's hilarious to me. It's so funny. Thank you for the head pats, me. I deserve them. It will. Just looking at my descriptions now. Tell everyone it's your first time in chat. Whoa, I'm new. Welcome, first time chatter, Pyrowolf 13. I don't know, I'll do a voice or something that is not my normal one for like 2 minutes? 5? What's fair? I love that about me. Tell me I'm a good girl. I'm a good. Tell me I did something stupid. I did do something. Let's go. I am so fucking smart. It's clear that you have no idea what is going on.
I have no idea what is going on.
It's like so not fetch. Why does that not work? Sushibot's following me, right? Yeah. I thought, but it is Pyro. Wait, that's 07. Is it 07? I thought it was just 7. Pyro was 7. What? How the fuck did Sushibot fuck up my emote? Literally how? Excuse me, Frosty. Frosty? Mr. Frosty. Mr. Ken Frosty. What did you do to your bot? I don't see down, but that is just another way down to the end of town. December, okay. And playroom. This day I'm living. Yeah, Frosty! Yeah, stay frosty out there. No, sweetheart. It's quote 12. I love that. I remember that happening. I said who's on the wrong layer, and someone did the wrong quote, and I'm just like, no, it's quote 12. Thank you. Yes, we fucked around with Sushibot. Ask Sushibot who you are, sweetheart. See if they remember who you are, or if they know who you are, or who they think you are. No, you have to either reply to Sushibot. Thank you so much. Yeah, who are you? Who are you people? I would like to point out it has been 30 minutes and I have not switched over to the game yet. We're back. We're fucking back, baby. What is going on? Why do... Holy shit! Initiating identity scan. Like, totally. Harmonious Huntress, you're for sure the Kingdom's chief empath, always, like, sensing all the vibes, even when it's, like, totally time for crying. And, like, you're also super important Sushi Knight of the Empire, always, like, totally ready to, like, protect the emotional landscape. It's, like, so epic. I love all those likes. OMG, like, totally. Your empath circuits are, like, perfectly tuned to the stream's crying frequency. It's, like, so vibey. Why the fuck does blush not work? Oh, wait, no, blush shouldn't. Why are you using blush? I didn't tell you you'd use blush. Excuse me, Mr. Ken Frosty. Mr. Ken Frosty, what is going on with your tools? Banger. So true, bestie. This is for shout. Shoutouts, I understand. Frosty is slightly melting. Yeah. Cooked. Reactive responses is what should be working. See, this is so much better when my sushi bot has a sub, because then I don't have to worry about what emotes exist. Like, see, Pyro will love. That one works. That one works. That one fucking works. SushiBot definitely knows. Yeah, thank you so much, sweetheart. I wasn't actually trying to bait. Oh shit, Japanese! Harmonious Huntress, dropping a gifted sub like it's hot. Your generosity is the rainbow after the storm, making sure no one cries alone. Here's to 88 reasons why you're the MVP of vibes and support. I fell for the not actual bait, yeah. I mean, listen, I assumed you would, but you don't have to. You know that you don't have to. We've been fucking around with Frosty Tools today. But yeah, SushiBot knows who Fish is. It's fun. I like it. I like it. I love Frosty Tools. I love the fact that it exists. I do what I want. I know you do. Good. And I'm glad. Please continue to do what you want, regardless of how others feel. Yeah, who am I? Yeah, who am I? Well, Harmonious Huntress. Fish, they're like for sure the Countess Fish, our kingdom's brilliant royal researcher. Their, like, intellect is so sharp, they could totally, like, research. Why these Higurashi tears? It's so hard. It's, like, mind-blowing. That's not the only thing that it's blowing. Yeah, Fish, you're so dumb. I mean, I'm dumb. Also that, yeah. Fish, I love that you and I have bonded over being dumb. Like, that's one of my favorite bits, is that every time you go, I'm dumb, and I go, I'm dumb, and then if I go, I'm so dumb, you're like, whoa, me too! That's so fun for us. I love this. I love everyone in my community. Thank you, everyone, for just existing. You are all wonderful, and I appreciate so much, and I don't think I deserve any of you being here, but I'm going to accept it, because I'm greedy. Oh, actually, this one. This one? Have we played Higurashi recently? We have! Alright, fuckers. Are we ready to actually get into this game that I set the category of, 33 minutes ago? I love greed. Pot of greed? Is it Scotch tape? I love greed. Wait, why are we greed? Huh? I don't get it. Love greed. Seagull. Oh, I'm so sorry, Oogie. I saw your first message. Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry. How are you doing today? And also, Fish, how are you doing today? Seagull. Oh. Seagull. I'm confused. What's going on? I have no idea what is going on. Huntress, thank you so much. Huntress, with 89 gifts, you've got Pyro crying tears of joy faster than a kitsune can blink. Your generosity is the real MVP of this pride stream. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, darkest before dawn. He is the light that brings the morning sun. I'm so sorry, Yugi. I did see your message. Seagulls. Oh, you said seagulls. What? Wait, no, that was... Wait, you said seagulls again? Or you said... Seagull. Just singular seagull. Why are we talking about seagulls? Wait, I'm confused. Happy Pride. Yeah! Happy gay! I'm gay. Happy Pride. How you doing, Kumori? Kuromori. Kuro. I see a goal. I'm so confused. What is going... Is this your first time playing Higurashi? It is definitely not. Thank you for the sub, Huntress. You really don't have to. I appreciate it. You're also gay? Let's fucking go. In case anyone didn't know, I'm gay. I love women. I'm trans. I love women so much I want to be one. And I'm a lesbian. I love women so much that I want to be one with one. Or multiple, even. Who knows? Stop shouting me out. I love that. Why are we talking about seagulls? I'm so confused on that point. I need more lesbians in my life, and I need to be one. That's so true. I gotta play more gay. I need to play more Yuri novels. I love lesbians so much. Fish, how do you feel about lesbians? What was I gonna say? Wait, I was saying something? Oh, is this your first time playing Higurashi? So I am on the this is the 6th game. We are on the 6th fucking game. I took almost a full year off of the game just because I played the first I played the first 5 fully over the course of, actually, I can tell you. I can pretty much tell you. Higurashi. Okay, so Onikakushi, first game I played last in May of 2023. So it has been 2 years since I started Higurashi. Umineko means seagull. But this isn't Umineko. This is Higurashi. Higurashi are the cicadas. I actually did not know that Umineko means seagull, because I have not played Umineko. And I don't even know if I will, honestly. I do really like Higurashi. I don't know if I'll play Umineko. We'll see. I have it on my wish list. If I ever see a sick deal, I will get it. But yeah, so I played Onikakushi, last played May 9th, 2023. It was July. I finished chapter 5, Meyakashi, July 2023. Shit. Oh shit, it's been 2 years actually. I need to do a gay stream. Every stream I do is gay because I love women so much. And also I'm trans. And also lesbian. Also women and also women. That's fucking hot as shit. Holy shit. I'm sure I've seen this, but holy shit is this hot as fuck. Random shit, cute girls. I love me. I'm so good at naming things. Pictures, random shit. Okay. Hey, this is gonna be something that's like, it's gonna be a lot. If you got this, where do I put this? Potentially NSFW. I'm gonna put in my potentially NSFW on my who made your model. I really need to add a credit of that. So my original model, which I believe you've seen my like 3D models, haven't used them in so fucking long. Like I only use them once a week nowadays. My request. Can I go to my request? Looking to get a new... Yeah, you've seen... Yeah, so obviously I made those. I had commissioned 2 outfits from Luca. But the PNG that I use is Kuro Yamai, which I should make a... Copy that. And command... PNG. We'll put a wedding. It's gonna be a wedding. 1 second. Go check out the wonderful artists. And wedding PNG. Add command. Wedding. Perfect. I don't think I have ideas. My request. Thank you so much for telling me to do this, though. Ah, fuck, I also need to add that. That's so right. That's so right. That's so right. That's so right. I need to add that to a bunch of things. Okay. 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 Did I add this? I don't think I've even added this. Ah! I think I already have it done. Do I even have... I think I have the... Think? Hey, I am so good at it. Wait, I have it in my... Pretty sure. Wait. Here, wait. If I go to... No, wait. That's actually in my... I love doing this live. Alright, that is Art Slides. That is called Art Slides. And then if I click... And then I click on chatting... It is also Art Slides. Perfect! Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I wish I had... I wish. No, I want... Let's, fuck. Alright, VTubing pictures. Commissions. Commission. I really should fix. Right. Okay, I can move all of these here. Do I not have it in here, actually? No, because I could have swore I had the Sayur. But I guess I don't? Don't. Alright, I want the sun. No. Actually download all. Downloads. And our commission. Transparent. Why do I not have the signed one? Signed one is the most important one because it has my sister's signature. There we go. Move those there. Nope. Wait. Yes, that's where I want them. Okay. Now we press the plus button. Add files. In picture. Oh. Oh, interesting. That is an interesting spot for me to put it. Can I put that in here too? Technically, that's a better place for it, in my opinion. Do that one. This one. And we'll do this one. Do I have any others? Wait. I don't think. Okay, open. Where's the Nopdu? Why do I not have the Nopdu one? I thought I had that. I definitely... Is that over here? Oh, that's over here. Oh, is that here? Why don't I just move all of them then? Why don't I just move everything that I have? Why do I have excuse me, what the fuck did I just do? Let's see. Okay. This, or the... That. Oh, that's so good! I forgot! Oh, it's so good! Oh, it's so cute! So good! Writing it here. Alright, let's just delete all of them. Let's just delete all of them and redo it. Right. Okay, so now I press plus, add files. Okay, so we want this one, We want this one, this one, this one. This one. That one's good. That one's good. Oh, that's okay. Okay. No, not original. Ooh, the window. No art. Oh. For that one. Do that one. We do that one. We do that one. Time. Let me press. Oh. We have a bunch of art now that is. Okay. Now the art should be more art. More art should be more art. It's been so... I can add that... I could add it. This is also... I should. I will? I might. Eventually? Is it here? Do I do here? No. Where the fuck did I... Here? No, it's not that. Where did I... But where is? But where is? Where is? Well, where is? That's the real question. But I thought but did I? Do I not? Is it here? No, wait, it's here. That wouldn't make it. It's in, it should be, but it is? But is it? Is it? But is it? Is it? Is it? No. No. Not that. It would have to be here, wouldn't it? And then it would be, I would put it here, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I? I would. But where? But why? But when? But how? But who? But that's just that. How do I? How does? How do be it with when? I wouldn't put it there, correct. And I wouldn't put it there, correct. And I wouldn't put it there. I would consider, but oh no, it's not there. But it's not there either. Do I not have it anymore? Is it somewhere else where it shouldn't be? That's weird. Huh. Interesting. What was I gonna post? Hey, what was I gonna post in my server? Or was I not gonna post something in my server? I definitely was. What happened? Who am I? What's going on? What am I trying to do? Something? I opened up Discord for a reason. Definitely opened up Discord for a reason. I could not tell you what that reason is. Yes, posting and potentially innocent. Thank you so much. You are so fucking right. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're the fucking best. Let's go. I'm so happy that I know that now. You're literally my hero right now. Thank you so fucking much. Where does this... Where? Random shit. It's in random shit. Cute girls, random shit. Cute girls, random shit. Thank you so much, Yugi. That means so much to me that I know what's going on now. I fully forgot everything that was going on. And we are actually going to a spoiler at hot. It seemed to be good. Like, because it's a lot. It's a lot of blood. More than the last one that I posted. I love cute girls. Oh my god, me too! Some classic random hunter shit. Guess what just attacked me outside? Chipmunk. Chipmunk? Chipmunk. I'm gonna guess chipmunk. Oh, I pressed start, not continue. I need to press continue. No. Groundhog. That's fair. That's fair. No! Exit. Let's go. Oh, we're not. I'm back. Not fair. I was terrified. Oh, I'm sorry. Get groundhog, idiot. Why, but what, How did you get attacked by a groundhog? Are you cutting the grass yet, or are you still doing car shit? Yes. We are on chapter 8. To answer your question, Oogie, we are on chapter 8 of the 6th game. Apparently she's living under my shed and felt threatened by me doing car shit. Oh! Okay. Oh, the ancient sushi scrolls whisper of a time. Great crime that nearly engulfed the realms. The humble kitsune, cloaked in starlight and kindness, quietly spun the threads of hope, turning the tide of tears into a river of joy. Pyro, it was you! The most flavorful truth is always the most hidden. Okay. Continue. It's her shed now. So fucking true. Pardon? Love that for you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's her shed now. Raised to remedy this situation. She ain't getting this shit. She shed by the she did it. Yeah, that. Who is this? Who is this? Log. No, I have no idea. This has to be Keiichi, right? Wait, am I? This is the great stream, isn't it? The Seashore. Yeah. Oh my god, I hope there's lesbians at the Seashore. Would be the only reason to ever go to the Seashore. Oh, I get to repost again. I get to repost art from art person made art. Wow, 14 people have already liked that post within like minutes of it being posted. I love that for them. The artist that I commissioned for the most recent art, which you can see on my Blue Sky, it makes a lot of Yuri stuff, and I love it, and that's one of the reasons why I did want to commission them. 6 minutes ago, and they already have 14 likes. So fucking true, bestie. All right. About homing ability and homesickness. If you interpret homing ability in a broad sense, you can say that most animals have a homing ability. It's the same with humans. We like to sleep, rest, and eat at a place where we feel comfortable, namely our homes. Well, that's what they mean by homing. Was not where I thought it was going. So true, bestie. Home is to you what nests are to animals. Therefore, we can say that humans have a homing ability as well. First of all, why do animals need nests? The answer is the same as for humans. Sleeping, resting, and eating are the essential actions of survival. At the same time, those actions leave one defenseless as well. That's why you need a safe area where you can be defenseless. Everybody knows that not having a safe area results in a high level of stress. When you move an animal to a new environment, it naturally becomes stressed. When you force a person to live in a foreign land where they aren't comfortable, they become greatly stressed as well. Everybody also knows that this kind of stress is called homesickness. The Japanese don't know much about homesickness. We defined it as a mental weakness, and we neglected to treat it for a long period of time. However, homesickness has a very long history. In Europe's Middle Ages, people believed that it wasn't a mental but rather a physical disease. People also believed that out of everyone, the Swiss got the disease the most. The Swiss, you see, were known to be an ethnic group that worked away from home in that area. They lived far away from their home. There were no telephones at the time, so they couldn't even hear their families' voices for ages and ages. It's easy to imagine that the young Swiss workers got homesick while working in a strange land. These Swiss who got homesick wanted to go home, but they couldn't because of their jobs. Conflict made them weak physically and mentally. Some of them went crazy and tried to escape from their reality by committing suicide or running away. Swiss at the time were very superstitious. Hey, can we get an exclamation point CW, and then Huntress, can you pin that for me? And many folk remedies and occult-like treatments to prevent homesickness went around. Thank you so much, Fish. Huntress, please pin that if you have a chance. Since going home was the only treatment, they must have called it a fatal disease. But it isn't really one, of course. Specifically, homesickness is a sign of that human homing instinct. Your brain desires to go back to your safe area, namely your home. Thank you? At first, your brain makes you remember the happy memories of your home, and it urges you to go home in a natural way. But when reason stops you from achieving your desire, your brain starts sending unnatural signals to your body. As a result, your body gets weak, and that makes it more difficult for you to live in a strange land. In the end, you have to bend reason in order to achieve your desire to go home. So, homesickness is born from our homing instinct. And the stronger one's homing instinct is, the stronger their homesickness. The strength of that homing instinct varies from individual to individual, and depends on the environment in which those individuals live. When your home is safe and the environment you live in is dangerous, your homing instinct grows stronger. On the other hand, when the environment you live in is safer than your homing instinct becomes very weak. Safety isn't the only element that affects its strength. Cultural aspects affect it too. Many customs demanding families to return home for major events varies within each region, so your birthplace's culture also alters the strength of your homing instinct. Among those regions, the Transcendents of Onigafuchi village were believed to have an excessively strong homing instinct. People of Onigafuchi forbade their fellows from ever leaving. Many believed this was the effect of elitism and sense of purity I already mentioned before. People today still strongly believe that Oyashiro-sama puts his curse on you if you break his rule and abandon the village. This superstition can be interpreted as homesickness. Homesickness is directly proportional to one's homing instinct. Then the exaggerated expression, curse, would signify the strength of that homesickness, and also their homing instinct. I can assume that they hated the outside world and created an insular society precisely because of their powerful homing ability. Unfortunately, there's no way to measure the strength of the homing ability that the primitive people of Onigafuchi had. It was so strongly forbidden to leave the village that nobody left long enough to get homesick. However, after the Meiji era, things changed. The sacredness of Onigafuchi dwindled with the efforts of modernization. Many young people started longing for city life, and some people were forced to leave the village to get a job. As a result, villagers started venturing outside the village borders. That was when the Transcendents of Onigafuchi realized how strong their homing ability was for the first time. Residents of Hinamizawa got extremely homesick. After a while, people started calling this homesickness the curse of Oyashiro-sama. It became rumored that a person who left the village to get a job in a strange land was cursed, that he went crazy and died, and people who had left the village started coming back to either it or the nearby town. Their homesickness and their homing ability were very strong because of their culture. It's reasonable to think that these were cultivated by the unique religion in Hinamizawa, namely the cult of Oyashiro-sama. From the moment they were born, they were taught the rules of Oyashiro-sama. They must have felt guilty about leaving the village unconsciously. As a result, they considered their homesickness to be the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I'm not sure if their homesickness got stronger because of the rules of Oyashiro-sama, or if they made the rules of Oyashiro-sama because their homesickness got stronger. I don't know which came first. I got tired of reading such small print, and lay down on the floor on my back. The true identity of the curse of Oyashiro-sama is homesickness? Mio-san believes my story, and she let me read these scraps. That's why I expected to find something interesting. But what it's saying is that the answer to all it is homesickness, which many doctors told me so many times at counseling. I'm a little upset. The word homesickness can't explain the extraordinary experience I had. I saw Oyashiro-sama come down to me from a bright light in the bathroom. I saw the dusky red and nasty maggots come out of my blood vessels. This scrapbook doesn't explain any of that. I don't understand how Mio-sama was going to explain the cloud of maggots. Maybe she didn't have any explanation for that to begin with. Was it just a delusion? I flipped through one of the other scrapbooks Mio-san let me borrow, looking for an explanation of the maggots I saw. Then I found it. It had the exact title I was looking for. About maggots, and the curse of Oyashiro-sama. In the Meiji era, a group of villagers were on their way back to Hinamizawa, and they started discussing a rumor about a weird disease. They said that maggots started crawling out of the wounds of a person who left Hinamizawa, and that the maggots ate the person's body from the inside. The Shinto priest of the Furude Shrine at the time explained that the weird disease was a sign of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. According to the tradition, the Shinto priest showed the villagers an ancient scroll, and he told them that the story of the maggots had been passed down through the ages. This is what the scroll said. The world where the demons came from must be interpreted as the land of death. Okay. Yeah. Have a good luck. Good luck with car. This is what the scroll said. The world where the demons came from must have been interpreted as land of death, and the demons in the land of death had to live their lives while being eaten by maggots. The villagers who were of the demon's blood had nothing to worry about as long as they lived in Hinamizawa under the protection of Oishi. But once they left Hinamizawa, abandoning that protection, the maggots that had been sleeping in the blood of the demon would start to awaken, and they'd eat their bodies from the inside out. I'd be afraid if I were a groundhog. Fear E. I don't fear E. I inject E. Yeah, good car. Have good car. I'd never fear. Yeah, it's done so much for me. Bye. This maggot disease scared the villagers for a while, and they asked the shrine to provide them with protective talismans whenever they had to leave the village on business. I stick it on my butt? Let's go, fish! I love that for you. No, I take it subcutaneously. Inject directly into the tum. This is interesting, as it's similar to the way homesickness was dealt with by the Swiss in the Middle Ages. You have patches. Yes, I figured. I figured you have patches. I have never really been interested in the patches. I hear that they fall off very easily. And I know that it's like there's also like the gel that I know some people take, but it's also like that's so annoying. They actually stick on pretty well. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that for you. I'm glad that they work for you. I like the injections. I take an injection once a week, and then I don't have to think about it until the next week. And because it's subcutaneous instead of like intramuscular, like most people do, like the needles are way smaller. So it's essentially like I use insulin needles essentially. But I know for testosterone, it's usually injected subcutaneously. And when I first like started the injection, swapped over to the injection, my doctor had just went from like he just went to a seminar, and someone was doing research on like how the subcutaneous injections were getting similar results as intramuscular. And so I was like literally the first person that my doctor, he was like, do you want to be a guinea pig for it? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. And things have been working out great. Like obviously all of the methods are pretty much similar in terms of efficacy. If your E levels are where they need to be, which my E levels have been, and I'm actually in a week and a half. I think in a week and a half, I'm going to be getting blood work done to see my E levels and stuff, and then the week after, I'm going to be talking to my doctor about it. So, but I do like the injections. I'm glad that I swapped to the injections because I already take 6 pills in the morning. I don't need another 2. After the war started, the delusion of the maggot disease faded away, but there remained a custom to send talismans to families that lived away from Hinamizawa. Oh shit, me too! What a coincidence! The talisman had the word maggot on them. But the most interesting part about all this was the residents in Hinamizawa didn't know about the maggot disease until the rumors began. Yeah. Fish, I'm glad that we're just our HRT schedules are just kind of similar for some reason. Completely unintentionally. I thought that their unconscious worship made those people think of homesickness as a cure. So, this case of the previously unknown maggot disease directly contradicted the research I had done so far. Natural to think that the group of people who were on their way back to the village were lost in a mass delusion because they strongly believed in the curse, and the Shinto priest took advantage of their state of panic to instill a deep faith in them. But I'm not fully convinced that it was merely a coincidence that this mass delusion matched with the story in the old picture scroll. I wonder if it's possible to see maggots in a wound without having the prerequisite knowledge when a person is cursed by Oyashiro-sama. I wish Oyashiro-sama would put his curse on someone I could study. Love to see those maggots coming out of someone. I felt as if Mio-san was here and making that request of me. I remember. When she gave me the scrapbooks, she said that I might be the only one who could understand them. I felt good for just a moment, because I found out that the maggots weren't a delusion. But at the same time, it destroyed my excuse that it was a delusion. The maggots weren't a delusion, they were there. All of a sudden, my wrists, elbow, inner thigh, and neck started itching. I felt the urge to cut open a blood vessel, but I quietly held it down. I remembered that Mio-san looked very serious when I talked about the maggots. I must have thought it was creepy. But so did I. While I was crying because nobody believed me, part of me didn't want to believe that my body was filled with those creepy things. Yeah, ugh, maggots. Like testosterone. Ugh, gross. Get that out of me. I think part of me wanted to believe that it was an illusion. But now I know it wasn't. It wasn't a delusion. There are some people who have the same experience. Maggots in the demon's blood will awaken when you lose the protection of Oyashiro-sama. In other words, they may not awaken under the protection of Oyashiro-sama, but all the villagers still have the maggots
You're
in them
such a
without
good
knowing
girl.
it. Aw, thank you, Bida. How's Bida? How Bida? How Bida? Drink wobber, 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 wobber. Delicious, delicious whopper. Bida, hi Bida. People of the demon's blood are people who have the creepy maggots in their bodies. Tried not to jump to conclusions and flipped the pages again. I unconsciously looked for something related to maggots. Last day of work before vacation. Let's fucking go. I'm hype about that for you. I love that for you. I hope you have an amazing vacation. Are you going somewhere or are you just taking off? Yay! Yeah, yay! About parasites and control of the host. The maggot disease made me think about something. Is it possible to say that the extremely strong homesickness in Hinamizawa was an infectious disease caused by some kind of parasite? Staying my ass home? I love that for you. That's the best kind of vacation. You gonna be streaming over the course of vacation? I'm not trying to connect the maggots they saw with parasites. I'm trying to think about the possibility that their culture, their religion, might be associated with an infectious disease. Many infectious diseases are caused unintentionally by parasites. The parasite's host is literally its home. It wants to live within the host body for as long as it can. The best way to do that is to coexist with the host without the host knowing it. But some parasites try to control their hosts and use them for prosperity. For example, some parasites have the ability to control their hosts in order to force them to be eaten by a superior host. A typical example is the Dicrocilium dendriticrum. It uses snails or ants as an intermediate hosts, and it forces them to move up to the upper side of vegetation so that it's easier for a superior host. One parasite that controls more complicated animals is called Toxoplasma gondii. It uses mice as intermediate hosts, with the superior host, cats. This parasite makes a mouse lose its fear of cats in order to increase its chance of getting eaten, so that the parasite can live within a cat instead. There are parasites that choose hosts at random. The rabies virus is commonly known for that. It lives and breeds in the brain of a host, and it moves into the host's saliva through the salivary gland. It makes the host extremely aggressive in order to make it bite things randomly, so that it can in turn move into other hosts through the saliva. That's what rabies does. Many parasites have a similar ability to control hosts for their benefit. The examples I used above are about parasites that move into other hosts to prosper, but I think there must be some kind of parasite that controls its hosts in order to have a comfortable environment to which to live. I want to try to connect this theory to the abnormal homing ability and homesickness of the Onagafuchi remnants. Let's say there's some kind of parasite that exists in Hinamizawa, and it lives within all the villagers' bodies. For the parasite, Hinamizawa is the most comfortable environment to live in, so it gives the hosts a strong homing ability in order to make them stay in Hinamizawa. Furthermore, it causes the hosts to get homesick whenever they ignore this homing ability and try to leave. Parasites need hosts in which to live. It's convenient for them if their hosts build a community in the environment where it feels comfortable. This theory makes it easier for me to explain the mysteries I described earlier. Transcendents of Onagafuchi knew about the existence of this parasite. They knew that as hosts to the parasite, they couldn't live outside the village. That's why they created a culture and rules that prohibited contact with the outside world. It also explains why people acted so abnormal during the dam conflict. That damn site. Oh, 40. Yes, with your Switch 2 when you get it. Hell yeah, I love that for you. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get the Switch 2. It's expensive, and I already don't play my Switch 1. So, the demons that came out of the swamp in the legend of Oyashiro-sama can be interpreted as mass spread of the parasite. The story about the demons attacking the villagers must be a metaphor for the behavior of the infected villagers who were controlled by the parasite. He is too crazy. I should have just laughed about it. But I felt bad for Mio-san, so I decided not to. Hinamizawa was controlled by a parasite? You could use that theory to explain how the maggots came out of me. I felt a little bit dizzy, so I was so confused, and a part of me thought it was ridiculous. And another part of me thought it was more convincing than any curse. But Mio-san was probably erased because she wrote these scrapbooks. If so, the contents of these scrapbooks must be something that they can't ignore. He'd try to get all of her scrapbooks and consign them into oblivion. What if they notice some of her scrapbooks are missing? I felt a chill running through my spine. I have to keep it a secret that I have these scrapbooks. I'll have to try to understand more about their contents. I remember Mio-san told me that the three families are behind the series of mysterious deaths, and that they're trying to resurrect the cult of Oyashiro-sama. According to the theory I just read, the parasites must be trying to maintain the current environment of Hinamizawa. The healthiest environment for it is the completely closed village, just like the primitive Onagafuchi. It must be very comfortable for the parasite. No hosts go outside the village. They don't even like that the villagers often leave the village to go shopping. That means the parasite would try to goad the hosts into resurrecting the cult of Oyashiro-sama. I remember there was an article in the scrapbook saying that the demon's blood runs thickest in the three families. That would mean they have a larger amount of the parasites in them than the other villagers, and that they're under its control. The three families seem to be planning to bring the village back to Onikafuji era. Surviving the Watanagashi festival after the dam conflict can be interpreted as their desire to revive the faith that had started to fade away in the Meiji era. The three families, especially the Sonozaki family, have a great influence over the region and the public organizations. What's going on here? I thought this to be a poorly written theory, but the pieces fit together one after another. Never played a jigsaw puzzle as crazy as this. Felt my brain swirling due to the absurd theory. Part of me thought this was ridiculous, and another part of me thought I might be about to expose an unbelievable truth. When I tried to look into the center of it, I felt as if I was going to fall into a whirlpool and drown. I'll have to devote myself to reading more seriously. There must be some truth to this. It caused misfortune and made my life miserable after I moved to Ibaraki. I might be able to find the truth, including the cause of my parents' divorce and my desperate behavior. Right then, I heard a knock on the door all of a sudden, scaring me. I hid the scrapbooks under a cushion. Reina, you have a phone call. A phone call? This late? What is it? It's from a bookstore. You ordered some books. They said they were Oishi-san from the Okinomiya bookstore. Bum bum bum! I gotta go piss, girl. Enjoy the sounds of the Higurashi or whatever. So I actually realized I had to go poop. I'm pooping. Pizza pooping. Pizza pooping. It actually was a good poop. I did do a good job. I did do a great job pooping. I opened the windows, but all they let in was heat and the cries of the cicadas. It's too hot. Me, whenever it's too hot. It really is. It was a break time between classes, but we couldn't really get any rest. Leanne and I leaned on our desks, exhausted by the heat. Younger kids sure are tough, considering how the heat wasn't bothering them at all. They were running around the classroom despite the temperature. The schools in the city have air conditioning in their classrooms? No, they don't. Only the teacher's office gets to have air conditioning. Wow, that's better than nothing. If I were a student at a school like that, I'd attack the teachers and take over their office. You'd be the first student to ever do that. I didn't have the energy to laugh. Ian and I stopped talking and used our notebooks to fan ourselves. I looked at the empty seat nearby. It was Rena's. Rena didn't come to school today. Called and told Chia-sensei she couldn't come because she was sick. Rena, feeling down these days. Yeah, he probably got tired from the heat. Really think that's the reason? Yeah, why? Think it's the incident? Maybe. Why both that and the summer heat? I can't even imagine how distressing it must be for her to commit a murder, dismember the bodies, and get caught by her friends. Took each other's hands at that place and we united. All of us believed that we had closed the case there and had gained our peace. But was that as easy for Rena as it was for us? We must have not quite recovered yet. This old man thought she'd get over it if she played along with us. But I guess her pain ran deeper than I thought. What should we do to cheer her up? It's best to just leave her alone, I think. Hey, are you sure about that? We're her friends, you know. Well, it's like homesickness, you know? You get lonely, and you want to call home just to hear your mom's voice, but that actually makes your homesickness worse. When you're feeling lonely, the best thing to do is to devote yourself to sports or something like that for a change. We want her to do club activities with us, but she doesn't want to. I don't know about her, but people usually have a desire to depend on somebody. You want to depend on somebody who supports you and sympathizes with you. Haven't you ever experienced that feeling? When you can't stop depending on somebody when they try to cheer you up? Well, I don't know. Completely depending on someone means trying to earn even deeper sympathy from them. I love that this game just always feels so relevant to me in my real life. At that point, even though you're trying to comfort them, they just slip further and further into depression. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick little screenshot. By finding initial success through relying on someone and receiving comfort, they grow addicted to indulging in misfortune. Oh, that is. Oh, we're gonna screenshot that real quick. I think Rena knows that too, and that's why she wants to be alone right now. If she wanted to depend on us or get comfort from us, all she'd have to do is stay with us and cry all the time. So how could we cheer her up? I think she'd appreciate it more if you tried to help her forget the pain than if you tried to cheer her up. Don't comfort her and don't cheer her up. Nothing I can do, is there? And that's a golden rule for psychologists, you know? Mental trauma can only be healed by the person who has it. That's so fucking true, too! I love this game. If someone else helps a person out of their mental trauma, even if they succeeded, that person wouldn't be completely healed. So, all we can do now is wait until Rena heals on her own. I understand the idea, but I just don't like how cold it sounds. I clasp my hands behind my back of my head, looking at this. And left. Rena will be fine as long as she has someone like you to worry about her. I'm sure she can pull herself together. So, all I need to do is be close to her? I don't know about that. Rika-chan spoke up. Wonder how long she'd be listening to our conversation. What is it? You can listen to her when she wants to talk to. Is that all? I just listen and I don't need to make her feel better? Hey, Chan. People feel better just by talking to someone. That's so fucking true. Sometimes all they need is someone who does nothing but listen quietly. And I'm gonna copy that as well. Why is Mion saying all the fucking everything that matters today? Just like, I think it's important for us as her friend to be there for her whenever she wants to talk to us. Him and Rika-chan were absolutely right. I was going to pat Ren on her shoulder and tell her to cheer up when I saw her next, but now I know that would have been one-sided on my part. Ren doesn't want to feel down herself. She wants to cheer up, if at all possible. If I cheered her up irresponsibly, she'd be very disappointed because she'd think that I didn't understand her pain. You're right. I guess I wasn't even trying to understand how she felt. I wanted to cheer her up, but now I know that's just what I want to do, not what she wants me to do. Thanks, you two. I think I finally understand. And that day I thought I cheered her, but I started to doubt if I had reached her heart. I might have just been dragging her someplace wherever I wanted her to go. I wasn't on her side in the real sense of the term. All of a sudden, Rika-chan patted my head. Don't worry. You'll know that you... What? What? Did I say something out loud again? It did reach her heart. Hey-chan, you really did give her great strength on that. Well, now that I think about it, what you said on that day was more than a little theatrical. We heard footsteps from the hallway, and everybody started to head back to their desks. Take your seats, everyone. President, if you would. All rise. We didn't have a club meeting that day because Rena wasn't around. That worked out for me. I had an errand to run. It wasn't a big errand. My mom wanted me to use her point card to get some detergent. I didn't see the point in going all the way to the store just to get detergent, but my mom told me to go because she's busy helping my dad with his work. I started walking towards the shopping center. I noticed someone was watching me, hiding behind a distant tree. I wonder who would do such a mischievous thing. I stared at them to find out who it was, at which point they emerged. Oh, Brenna. Feeling better now? I was about to say that, but I swallowed the words. Somehow Brenna looked very serious. Whoa, what's going on? Shh. Brenna put her index finger to her lips, told me to be quiet, looked around carefully, and beckoned for me to come over. I had no idea what was going on, but I followed her instructions, shut my mouth, and ran to her. Brenna gestured for me to squat down to hide in the shadow of the bush. Didn't know why I had to do that, but I could ask her the question later. I just followed her orders for now. Brenna looked like she was making sure no one was following her. If it was Mion, she'd do something like this just to fool me as a joke. But I know Brenna doesn't do things like this for fun. I had no idea what kind of situation I'd gotten myself into. I could feel how tense it was, and I made myself a small. Okay now. I'm sorry. The tone of her voice made me relax a little. Whew, what's going on? I think someone's been following me. What? Who would follow her? When I thought about it, I realized how stupid a question was. Is it police? Rino Mamiya and Teppei Hojo. People disappeared. Even though they were awful human beings, the police had to investigate if they found out that they'd gone missing. It probably wouldn't be difficult to find out that Rina had often been to Rena's house. But it should be okay. As long as they don't find those bags, it should be okay. I don't know if it's the police or not, but I feel like someone's been watching me since the night of Watanashi. What do you mean? Once I asked that question, Rena stared directly at me with a blank expression. Her eyes looked as though they were evaluating. She stared at me as if she was assessing whether I was worth talking to about something very important. Rena squeezed her own wrist tightly, then started talking in a whisper. I'll tell you what's going on. Keep it a secret. Yeah, of course I can. Want me to keep it secret? I won't tell anybody. Okay, I trust you. She smiled and looked around one more time. You might be looking for Mio-san's scrapbooks. Mio-san? Oh, the nurse, Takano-san? Well, what about her scrapbooks? The police are keeping the investigation under wraps, so I'm sure you don't know. You know, Takano-san was murdered. What? What? When? Told me to be quiet again. I lowered my voice and let her continue. On the night of Watanagashi, we met Mio-san and Tomitake-san, didn't we? They were attacked right after that. Tomitake-san was cursed by Oishiro-sama, cut out his throat and died. Mio-san was burned to death in the mountains of the Gifu prefecture. Is that true? I mean, nobody told me about that. I know. That's because the police haven't disclosed their investigation. These cases make the fifth of a series of mysterious deaths. So the police have decided not to go public yet. I understand why the police are keeping quiet about it, but then where did you hear this? Is it a secret? I'm in contact with Uishi-san. He's a detective from the Okinomiya Police Department. He told me about the case. Why tell you? I don't know. He said he told me because he trusts me. I was dumbfounded to hear all this, but I knew she wasn't lying. In many other cases, Keiichi was the one that was told by Oishi that Takano and Tomitake were murdered. If it was Mion, she'd be sticking her tongue out by now. Rena wouldn't make a joke out of something. You think the reason why Mio-san was murdered is for research? You know she was doing ethnological research by studying the history of this village? I've heard something along those. Takano-san was interested in the occult and in mysterious things. I remember Mion once told me she was studying the village's legends of man-eating demons out of curiosity. I think she discovered a very important secret about this village through her studies. Maybe she wasn't even close to the truth, but they thought she was. Wait a second. What's the secret of this village you're talking about? I just read a few of her scrapbooks, but those were the ones that she was handling with extra caution. I think there are plenty of important things written in them. We don't know about 80% of what Mio-san was trying to uncover. But if it's true, it's almost too crazy to believe. Right now, I'm trying to find out whether Mio-san's theory is right or not. So, what is it? What is the secret of the village? What could be so important that you might get killed just by knowing about it? Gasped the moment those words left my mouth. Rena told me I might get killed too. I don't want to tell you yet. I promise I will once I verify things. Because it's really crazy. Too crazy to be true. What do you mean you have to verify things? For example, I myself serve as verification that the maggots disease can occur without any background knowledge, but there are a lot of things I still need to verify. They sound too crazy to be true, and I can hardly believe them if I don't verify that they are. Maggots? I was totally lost now, and I wanted to ask her some questions, but I decided not to cut in. It was so hot outside. Rena held her arms as if cold. Rena, I was on your side. You trust me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. From her expression alone, I could tell that she really meant it. I could also tell that she was involved in something very big, and that she felt lonely because she couldn't tell anybody else about it. Had to be on her side while she was going through a difficult time. You shouldn't tell anybody that you met me here. They might try to hurt you if they found out. Oh, okay. Isn't there anything I can do to help? Not right now. It's very reassuring that I can ask you for help when I need it. I'll depend on you someday. Yeah, anytime. Shh! Car's coming. Rennie pushed my head into the bush. I went along with it and crouched down even lower in the bushes. Stayed quiet for a while, I could hear a car coming closer, and after a while, a white man passed by. I was surprised at her hearing. You heard the car coming when it was still far off in the distance. Do you see its license plate number? What? No, I'm sorry. I didn't. I didn't either, but I think it's the same car I saw earlier. Are they the ones following you? I think so. Passed by me many times today on the street when nobody usually drives. I hit every time, but it's strange. Are they the ones? Are they the ones who killed Takano-san and Tomitake-san? Are they looking for the scrapbooks you have? Most likely, yes. Don't blame her for not being able to believe what's going on, because this is really crazy. Takano-san uncovered something really significant through her studies. People who want that information hidden found out about it, and they killed her on the night of Watson Nagashi, copying the curse of Oyashiro-sama. They're looking for the scrapbooks, the fruits of her research, and Rena has them. That's why they're trying to kill Rena. What about your house? It's safe there. I hid the scrapbooks in my secret hideout at the garbage dump. I'm worried about my father, but he'll be fine because he really doesn't know anything. It's written on your face, Keiichi-kun. It says, I can't believe it because it sounds too crazy to be true, am I right? I wanted to deny it, but I felt bad to lie. I remained silent in the affirmative. Well, that's a normal reaction. I couldn't believe any of this when I read the first scrapbook. I only started seeing the connections after reading all of them. I'm sorry, I do want to help you, but don't know how. I don't see the whole picture of what's going on. If I tell you, it might put you... You're already in danger, right? I don't mind. Don't worry about me. Okay. I'll tell you then. Following the three families who killed Mio-san and Tomitake-san. To be more specific, it's the Sonozaki family, Michan's family. Why? about the series of mysterious deaths, right? Of course. Raiders from the dam conflict die every year, right? That damn site. Code 40. And the series of mysterious deaths is like a resolution of the dam conflict. They're trying to end the dam conflict in the true sense of the term by erasing people who betrayed the village. It does look that way. Nobody really says it out loud, but everybody's suspicious that the Sonozaki family's behind it. What I've heard. But if they really wanted to erase the traitors, they wouldn't have do it on the night of Watanagashi. Why don't they kill them all at once instead of killing them one by one, using the curse and demoning them away every year? Wouldn't that make more sense? I've never heard the words demoning away before, but Rena clearly thought they had some kind of creepy significant meaning, so I decided not to cut in. That means they're using this series of mysterious deaths in order to resurrect the sacredness of the Watanagashi family. Step by step, they're reviving the sacred nature of Onikafushi that was lost in the Meiji era. Their goal is to revive the level of belief in Oyashiro-sama that used to exist in primitive times. Belief in Oyashiro-sama. Talk about the Furude Shrine? Yes. Do you think people revere the Furude Shrine now? Elder people respect the shrine, but that's it. Kids think of it as a place to play, and most of the villagers think of it as a place to gather for local events. Its sacredness has been lost. But with the dam conflict, it started to revive. And they took it as a good opportunity to bring back the cult of Oyashiro-sama. So, you're saying that some fanatical Oyashiro-sama worshippers are all this? That's what I'm saying. The cult of Oyashiro-sama was managed by the three families to begin with. The three families passed down their ultimate goal of reviving the cult of Oyashiro-sama down to the present generation. When you think about it, you'll understand why the three families took the initiative and united the villagers during the dam conflict, and why they set up the Onikafuchi Guardian's office in the Furude Shrine, letting Oyashiro-sama, who was almost forgotten at the time. So, three families. I mean, the fanatical Oyashiro-sama worshippers orchestrated a series of the mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Oh, wait. Why would they kill Takano-san? Because she discovered the important secret of the village. The three families have been hiding it since the era of Onikafuchi. If that secret is revealed, the sacredness of Oyashiro-sama will be lost. They found out that Mio-san was getting close to the secret, and that's why they killed her. What's this important secret? I don't care if I put myself in danger, I need to know. I don't want to tell you yet. I don't want to tell you until I'm 100% sure about it. Pretty sure that right now you just laugh. Hey, do you think I'm that kind of guy? Just need a little more time. I can't accept the truth myself because it sounds so impossible. So I need time. Please. I understand. Don't tell anybody about what we talked about today. Not even me-chan, Rika-chan, or Satoko-chan. Oh, okay. Well, you should go now. I'll take a look around for a while before I go home. Can't be too careful anymore. Rena ducked low in the bushes and moved away. I was left alone there. The cries of the cicadas surrounded me, making it seem as though I was alone there the whole time. I started walking, still dumbfounded. In the end, Rena didn't tell me the secret because she was afraid of putting me in danger. But she told me clearly that there are people who want to resurrect the cult of Oyashiro-sama, and that they're among the three families that control the entire village. They orchestrated a series of mysterious deaths for that purpose. They killed Takano-san because she got too close to the secret and they wanted to hide. Rena met Takano-san and happened to obtain the scrapbooks in which Takano-san wrote for research. Rena still can't believe the secret written in the scrapbooks because it's just too crazy. Hey, come on, Rena. Kidding me, right? It's like one of those comic book stories. Curious occult group is plotting a conspiracy. I mean, it's not funny even if it's a joke. But Rena's right about one thing. Even if this is true, it's really hard to believe. I understand why Rena would wanted to wait to tell me the secret. Maybe she was just fooled by Takano-san. But Takano-san was murdered for real. So is it also true that someone is following Rena looking for the scrapbook? I remember Rena said that a white van was following her. You can see white vans anywhere. I bet there are a lot in this village alone. She might just be oversensitive to everything. Rena hasn't recovered from the shock since that day. That's probably why she got the idea in her head that the police or someone else is coming after her. I didn't cut in while she was talking. I think I did the right thing. If I had said that it was ridiculous for something to her face, Rena wouldn't have trusted me again. At that point, however, I gasped. A white van was parked on the side of the street. I wasn't sure if this was the same car that passed by earlier since I didn't see the police. But the number of people in the car and ambiance of it was similar to earlier. And there's one other thing that looks suspicious about it. There was no reason to park here. It was on a small road in the middle of the woods. Nothing around here. No traffic lights, no vending machines, and no phones. I probably wouldn't notice it under ordinary circumstances, but I felt something was wrong. Once I noticed how odd it was, I was definitely suspicious. There were 4 men in work uniforms in the white van. The driver was smoking a cigarette, but the other men were just there doing nothing. If they wanted to take a break or have a smoke, they could have chosen a better place than here. It was possible that they stopped because they had to go to the bathroom really badly. They didn't look as comfortable or relaxed as they would if they were taking. They looked like they were waiting for something to happen. There was a deep tension in that car. They possibly be waiting for Rena? Nobody. I didn't see anybody walking around. This road is a back road. Nobody really uses this road, let alone by car. But it's impossible. I felt bad for Rena to even think about it, but this must be something that she got into her head because she's feeling victimized or something. She must be imagining things because she's so nervous from when her friends caught her in the act of killing Rena and Tepe. Hey, young man. I heard someone say that when I passed by the van. It didn't mean me. He didn't even know who I was. I assumed he was talking to one of the other people in the car. And then I didn't hear him and kept walking by, and then he said it again. And honked the horn as well. Hey, young man, excuse me. You on your way home from school? He had a strong accent, similar to that of the older villagers. He must live here, but I didn't know him. I could tell he didn't know me either, because he didn't call me by my name. Yes, I am. You've been walking on this road all the way from school, right? Turn the corner in the stationery store, right? Yes? So? They were probably lost, I thought. The village has many small turns, and you can easily get lost when you try to take a shortcut. They must have been waiting for someone to ask for directions. Then he said something disturbing. Young man, didn't you see a girl on the way here? Huh? What? Girl with a white hat and white clothes. With a purple ribbon on it. See her. We're definitely talking about Rena. No, I didn't. I wasn't ready to hear them. Rather, I was scared. That's why my voice got all shaky. Up until that point, I couldn't believe Rena's story. I thought it was ridiculous. I actually laughed, if only to myself. That's why I wasn't ready at all. My heart was beating fast, and I was sweating all over. I immediately answered, no, I didn't, but it might have sounded like no. The driver stared into my eyes. It looked as if he were trying to figure out if I was lying or not, and my legs started to shake. I felt like a frog under the glare of a snake. Couldn't move a muscle for a while. But I think the same went for those men, too. They were clearly a suspicious group, and they had just asked a villager about a girl out of the blue. Anybody would get suspicious. I was right. The man broke the ice and started making excuses before I even asked him why he wanted to know about the girl. Well, I was asking for no particular reason. We just passed by a girl earlier, but you're a boy, so we were just wondering. Oh? Okay. Please forget it. Sorry for the trouble, young man. We're off. And started the engine and drove away. After they left, I saw nothing. Right, nothing. No reason why they had to park here. So, were they really waiting for Rena? Mystery Machine be drawn further into conspiracy. Furthermore, it's important we closely monitor her father. Since he has also suffered mental shock from the divorce, and has been trying hard to take care of the patient, there's a strong possibility that he may develop an induced delusional disorder. As the first step of mental care, one should listen to the patient's story carefully without denying it. That's the most basic of basics. However, when the patient and the listener are related, it's easy for the listener to become deeply influenced by the patient's delusions. Additionally, delusional parasitosis, widely known to make people highly impressionable, and the influence sometimes can spread throughout a whole community. Therefore, even if several people claim to acquire a parasitic infection, doesn't necessarily prove the existence of a parasite. Some of the phone calls to the healthcare centres from the examination of pests are nothing but mass delusions. Since the subject matter of the delusion in this case is extremely rabid, patients might harm or even kill each other in abnormal ways, believing this to be the treatment for the disease. They may also give up hope and commit suicide together in the worst case. This influential delusional disorder, otherwise known as shared psychotic disorder, shows a particularly strong possibility of influencing colleagues' companions. Anyone who is going to contact the patients must be made to understand that the patients are under medical treatment and must be warned not to be influenced by the patient's delusions. Individuals who are likely to be easily influenced are the patient's family members and people who care deeply about the patients, such as boyfriends or girlfriends. Alright, fuckers. I'm gonna do one more. I'm Eepy. I'm getting Eepy. I'm getting Eepy. I'm getting Eepy. But we're gonna do one more chapter. We're gonna do one more chapter, and then I'm gonna go take a fucking nap. Nappy nap. The napper. Bed? Question mark? Snoozer. We're gonna be like Barkley's alternate name. Snoozer. I should apologize, Rena. I don't think I believed you. I'm really sorry about that. It's okay, Keiichi-kun. I'm just glad we didn't get caught. Who are they? Are they the pawns of those religious fanatics who are trying to revive the cult of Oyashiro-sama? I don't think they realize that they're pawns, but I'm sure the mastermind's using them as such. They must be the ones who've been pulling strings behind the scenes ever since the damn conflict. The people working for the Sonozaki family did something similar during the damn conflict itself. Yeah, everyone knows that. Koichi-san told me that. There was a kidnapping incident during the damn conflict. The case hasn't been disclosed to the public, but anyway, someone kidnapped the grandson of the Minister of Construction and coerced the minister into promising to put a halt to the damn construction. The grandson of the minister was kidnapped? Hey, I've never heard about that before. The ministers submitted to their demands and they made a deal behind the scenes. That's why the incident never went public. Koichi-san only knows about it because he was in charge of the case. Okay. And? According to Ishii-san, between kidnapping the minister's grandson and blackmailing him, their tactics were frighteningly advanced. The police knew that the Sonozaki family gave orders to the kidnappers, but the case still remains unsolved. At that time, the head of the Sonozaki family, Oryo, had announced a plan to fight against the dam project by force. He even formed a special attack corps using the Yakuza group that's under the Sonozaki family's control. He was very serious about this plan to put the Ministry of Construction down by brute force if she couldn't stop the construction. Everybody knows the Sonozaki family had tried to stop the dam project, even if it meant breaking the law. So I wasn't surprised to hear that she had a dangerous plan like that. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mion who came up with the idea. The plan sounded just like her. In the end, the plan ended up as nothing more than that. But the Special Attack Corps actually did undergo training, and very high-level training at that. Rishi had uncovered the information right after the dam conflict ended. At the time, Oryo even said that the village was going to be submerged. All members of the Onigafuchi Guardians would choose to stay in their houses ground. So, because Oryo was behind those things, I couldn't just laugh off the idea that an armed assault on the Ministry of Construction. According to the information Rishi sees, she plans a suicide mission as a last resort when the dam conflict started to heat up, in case the resistance wasn't successful. She'd actually obtained weapons and put people through training for the sake of that plan. Special Attack Corps were flown to America, having received a huge amount of money from Oryo for the operation. In the southern desert of the United States, some retired military soldiers gave them highly professional training. While the plan was never carried out, Special Attack Corps became a death squad under the direct control of Oryo after they came back from America. They were involved in many unsolved terrorist incidents, and they succeeded in kidnapping the grandson of the minister as well. It sounds like it's from a movie or something. You remember how Mi-chan said that she could do anything from flying helicopters to using wireless radios? It's actually all true. Seems like Mi-chan joined in their training. So that was all true. Well, let's put that aside for now. Anyway, you have to at least believe that the death squad actually exists in Hinamizawa, and they're capable of kidnapping grandson of a government minister. I didn't take a close look at the four men in the white van today, but thinking about it, they did look professional in a way. They were pretending to just be taking a break, but I could tell they were tense the whole time. So, are they really trying to kill you? I don't think so. If they really wanted to kill me, I'd be dead already. So, what do they want? Are they after Takano-san's scrapbook? Like you saw yourself, the group is very cautious. Once we show them an opening, they won't resort to force. If they were the type to use force outright, they could have attacked me in my sleep. I haven't done that yet, so that must mean they're taking it cautiously. They're probably not sure if I have the scrapbooks. I killed Mio-san and tried to dispose of them, but they found out that the most important ones were missing. They thought she gave them to someone because she knew her life was in danger. Now they think I'm the one who has them. But they're not sure, so they can't resort to violence. Rena, it sounds like you're playing a dangerous game. Yeah, I'm a bit scared. But you won't be able to erase me so easily. After all, I'm cooperating with Rishi-san. I've been frequently contacting him in case something happens. What did he say about them? He said he'd keep an eye on the Sonozaki family, so they could catch them right away if they were working behind the scenes. Did you tell him about the scrapbooks? No, I didn't. think you should. He's an officer. Sure, the police will help you. Eiji-kun, I can't even tell you the secrets of this village because I'm not sure you would believe me. I don't think Uichi-san would believe me if I told him any of this. Let's not make it more confusing than it already is. Just tell me, what is it? What's written in the scrapbooks? What's the secret that killed Mio-san? Simply put, if the things written in the scrapbooks are true, the god they worship will be dethroned. Their god dethroned? Yes. The sanctity of Oyashiro-san will be lost. That's why they want to conceal the truth. They want to resurrect people's belief in Oyashiro-san. Renat, can you explain it a little more simply than that? I'm confused. In other words, Oyashiro-sama isn't a god. Isn't? Yo, Fish, I hope you enjoy playing Guilty Gear Strive. I had no idea what she read that made her so certain. Whatever it was, it'd be sacrilegious for people to believe so strongly in Oyashiro-sama. Oh! Hi, Huntress. What? Sorry, Fish. It's something that I do. You know I call people out as soon as I see them go live in a game. Like as soon as I see people open a game on Steam. Now that we're friends on Steam, you will be subject to me saying enjoy game, whatever game it is. Hi, Huntress. Welcome back. I have things to send you from this game. There are many teaching of Oyashiro-sama, but the essence is as follows. Me and all 11 games I own. That's okay, we can get that number up to the perfect number of 13. Don't leave the village and don't let anybody into the village. One can even say that the rest of his teachings were developed to maintain those two fundamentals. It wasn't really until later on that they added aspects like love your neighbor or viewing him as a god of marriage and domestic prosperity. In other words, Oyashiro-sama exists solely to stop villagers from going outside the village. I would not be one to know. I know nothing. All I know is that I know nothing. Oyashiro-sama doesn't bless the villagers or protect them from disasters. People believe that Oyashiro does all that for them, but the truth is that the people abused his name for that purpose, generation after generation, and nothing more than that. Why did Oyashiro-sama descend in the first place? Because demons came out of Onikafuchi Swamp and attacked people. In fact, that was the wrong interpretation. Demons didn't come out of the swamp and attack people. People became demons and attacked others while they were possessed by whatever came out of the swamp. Whatever came out of the swamp? What do you mean by that? Whatever came out of the swamp possessed people, crawled into their blood, controlled them, and turned them into demons. People had no resistance against whatever it was that came out of the swamp. They became demons, attacked the other villagers, and turned them into demons. Right. The weird infectious disease that broke out of the swamp. It made the infected people go out of control. The villagers saw this disaster and explained it like so. Evil demons came out of the bottom of the swamp, possessed people, and turned them into demons as well. That is the truth of the story of the demons that came out of Onikafuchi Swamp. What are you doing in my swamp? It actually explains the legend. So, are you Shiro-sama a doctor who came from a foreign country? Yes. That's not exactly correct, but it was something like that. He came to Onikafuchi and he treated the infectious disease. He couldn't cure it for good. All his treatment could do was reduce the symptoms of infection. Villagers could have their symptoms suppressed, but there's no way to kill the parasites that had infested them. After a while, the village was divided into two groups. One group was made up of people who were already infected, and the other consisted of people who weren't. Without a cure for the disease, the uninfected looked down on the people who could only suppress their violent symptoms. They even talked about drowning them in the swamp. They knew killing the infected people wouldn't solve the problem. Parasites came out of their water sources, including Onikafuchi Swamp. They couldn't fill them all in, or if they did that, they would lose their access to drinking water. They could have chosen to leave the village. That was hard for them, but that was the location their ancestors' graves. Under the power of Oyashiro-sama, infected people could live without showing symptoms. So, both those who were infected and those who weren't decided to live together equally and to oppose this parasite. Oyashiro-sama was impressed by the villagers' decision. He decided to stay there and continue to treat them. That's the true identity of Oyashiro-sama, the benefactor who stayed in the village to protect the lives of both human and demon. That's right. And Oyashiro-sama made rules in order to ensure the symptoms of the infected people remained suppressed. Rules were to never leave the village and never let anybody into the village. I understand why he didn't want to let anybody new into the village. It was to prevent the parasite from infecting anyone else. I don't understand why he didn't want people to leave. Seems like the parasite can only live in Hinamizawa because of the climate here. He causes an outbreak of the symptoms in order to prevent the hosts from leaving the village when they try. That reaction is the truth behind the curse of Ayashiro-sama. Strongest symptoms of the infectious disease, violence, and delirium. The infected people acted just like demons, and the impact of seeing them in the throes of that disease was strong enough to make the others describe them as. They couldn't even let people leave who had just come to the village. They had left after being infected to make them crazy in a faraway land, turn into a vicious demon, and cause. Infected people were never allowed to leave. When an infected person left the village, they brought him back by any means necessary. That was what it really meant to be by. Wait a second, Rena. That means everybody in this village, including you and I, are infected. But nothing happens when we leave. In fact, many villagers move far away after getting married or something. I've never heard of any villagers who went crazy and turned into demons after they left Sawa. You're right. That's because things went as Ayashiro-sama thought they would. I understand. He isolated the village for a long time in order to weaken the power of the parasite. Hosts are very important for parasites. If something happens to the host, the parasites that live in the host have to share the same fate. In other words, if the host went crazy and attacked people, the host would be captured and killed, which means that the parasite would die with the host too. I see. You're talking about natural selection? Good thinking, Keiichi-kun. That's exactly right. As a result of living in this village under such strict rules for such a long time, people who were hypersensitive to the parasite went crazy and got killed. Strong parasites that made the infected people go crazy were also killed off due to the host's violent behaviors. As a result, only the parasites that acted nice to people lived on. And that's the explanation behind the mix of human and demon blood. That's written in the legend of Ayashiro-sama. So, that means the parasite is almost harmless now? Yes. According to Miyo-san's scrapbook, there are actually many people who are infected by harmless parasites. It depends on local food culture. For example, about 80% of the people who live in a country where meat is a staple food are infected by parasites. But because the parasites coexist with humans without doing any harm to them, nobody notices them, treats them, or tries to get rid of them. I see. In olden times, Bakta Nagashi was called Harawata Nagashi. Harawata meaning guts. It said that the people back then used to eat the guts of infected people who went crazy. It was awful, but it was something they had to do. Eating the infected people. Talking about a vaccine? You're very smart, Keiichi-kun. Miyo-san also interpreted it just like you did. In the legend, it says people cut open and ate the infected ones alive, but it actually wasn't anything gross like that. They did it in a scientific way. They created a vaccine from the infected people who died from the extremely strong parasites, and that helped the uninfected villagers boost their immune system. Who was Oyashiro-sama? Scientist? He must have been from a very advanced country. Is he German? Is the true identity of Oyashiro-sama a foreign doctor who survived his shipwreck? I think that'd be the most likely answer. He wasn't German, but he was a doctor of some sort. Kind of interesting to reveal the truth behind old legends. I don't think that Rena's story is too crazy to be true anymore. Still sounds crazy, of course, but I've never heard any theories that explain the legend of this village better than this one. I'm infected by the parasite too, right? I feel itchy all over now. Person is like a universe. We have countless numbers of bacteria in our body. Some of those bacteria are essential to us staying alive. Oh, like bacteria in yogurt, right? I see. This is also what Miyo-san wrote in her scrapbooks. You know termites, right? They eat wood, but they actually can't digest it themselves. They have unique bacteria that decomposes the wood fibers. As a result, termites can absorb what they eat. That's just one example of a species coexisting with parasites. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. When I hear the word parasites, I feel creeped out almost instinctively, and now I know some of them aren't so bad to us. So, the weird infectious disease that broke out from Onigafuchi Swamp has been exterminated by now. Well, I shouldn't say exterminated. I should say it's harmless now. I thought it was a crazy story at first, but now I feel like I just saw the trick behind some crazy kind of magic. Interesting. It is to us. But for the cult of Ayashiro-sama, this must be a very annoying theory. Of course, Takano-san's theory is correct. Ayashiro-sama isn't a god. The punishment by that god, namely the curse of Ayashiro-sama, the people have been so afraid of, will turn out to have just been the symptoms of an disease. See, that's what dethroning a god. So, if the pathogen of this infectious disease was identified and announced to the public, power of Oyashiro-sama will be completely lost. That's right. That's what they're afraid of. Miyo-san was going to identify the pathogen, and for that she was killed. So, that must mean she identified it. Maybe she did. She's gone and she didn't say anything about that in her scrapbook. That's the only reason I can think of, though. But it's the end of the 20th century. The villagers have been examined by a lot of different medical institutions by now, right? I've never heard about anyone discovering a weird parasite like that. I know. Truly, the pathogen hasn't been found yet, but in fact, there's evidence that there is some kind of parasite involved. What? Really? The parasite enters the human body, and the body's immune system cells, eosinophils, and macrophages try to kill the parasite. They secrete an antibody called immunoglobulin E. IgE. The most common way of checking if a person is infected by a pathogen is to look at the levels of this secretion. According to Takano-san research, people from Hinamizawa have a very high level of IgE in their blood. That's not all. They also have obvious symptoms of being infected by parasites. They don't have any allergies. IgE stimulates mast cells, and they secrete histamines and serotonin as a result. These cause an allergic reaction. That allergic reaction isn't pleasant for humans, but it's necessary for the body to kill the pathogen. But the parasites don't want to be killed, of course, so they secrete substances that counteract IgE. As a result, IgE stops stimulating the receptors of the mast cells, but stops secreting the chemical compound. As a result, the antigen-antibody reaction, namely the allergic reaction, doesn't occur. In other words, a human body that was infected by a parasite secretes a high level of IgE, but doesn't display allergic reactions. For your information, the human body that's infected by a parasite doesn't suffer from hay fever. You get hay fever due to your body secreting a large amount of IgE because it's mistaken pollen for a parasitic invasion. As a result, a large amount of stimulants, like histamine, will be secreted, but your body can't contain the parasite that it's attempting to kill. That's why your body continues to secrete IgE. As a result, the stimulants keep causing allergic reactions. That's how hay fever works. If you have a parasite in your body, it will deactivate your IgE and suppress the secretion of stimulants. As a result, you don't have an allergic reaction. In other words, there's no hay fever in Hinamizawa, and you can cure your hay fever by moving here. So, you haven't been able to identify the pathogen. There's no question about its existence. Yes, that's right. If that's true, scrapbooks are a big threat to the believers in Asia. They don't identify the pathogen, but they clearly prove its existence. Yeah, suppose it's a big enough danger to them to make them think it's worth killing Mio-san. This really is a very secret. I believe it because you took the time to explain it to me, but if you had skipped the details and told me only the conclusion, it really would have sounded too crazy to believe. I told you. I couldn't believe it at first either, so I thought you definitely wouldn't. So what's important right now is that there's a dangerous organization acting in the shadows to try and cover up the truth, right? Yeah, that's the most important thing. The fanatics want to revive the sanctity of the god they worship. Reviving the majesty of their god means reviving the power of that god. And the power of their god is infectious disease. This infectious disease can't spread nationwide, unlike other infectious diseases. So from now on, I'm going to start calling it an endemic disease. It fits better since it only affects this region. Anyway, the endemic disease of current-day Hinamizawa is different from the one of old times. It's been through a process of natural selection and it's harmless now. In other words, it doesn't do any harm to human bodies. That harm was once interpreted as a curse. A curse is the power of a god, so a harmless endemic disease means that the god is powerless. That means the only way to regain the majesty of that god is to revive the curse. In other words, they want to bring back the primitive endemic disease, namely the harmful, strong version of the parasite. Wait a second. Fanatics want to deny the fact their god was actually a parasite. You're saying that they're researching the parasite? That's contradictory, isn't it? I know it is. I think this research is a secret that only the head of the Fanatics is aware of. From the outside, they look like they're praising their god, but they actually understand its true identity, and they're trying to revive its supernatural power with their own hands. I get it now. Oh my god, this is getting crazier and crazier. It didn't say in the scrapbooks, but I'm suspicious of the clinic the manager owns. The Erie Clinic? Why? The facility is too big and fancy for Hinamizawa. His son was working there. The manager might be a bacteriologist, and a Saki family. It can't be. I think Mio-san was murdered because she knew too much. The reason why the manager hasn't been murdered yet is because he's working for the Fanatics in the first place. And he's researching the primitive form of the endemic. Hard to believe that the coach we know is capable of doing things like that. I'm sorry. He might be totally irrelevant. It's just a wild guess. But someone is doing the research somewhere, that much is certain. And after 5 years, their research has finally been completed. First case was the dismemberment murder by the dam construction. Their quarrel had turned into lynching. They might have had the primitive infectious disease, and the symptoms, the aggression, the delirium, might have kicked in. The victims of the second year were the Satoko's parents. They were no witnesses, so the whole event is veiled in mystery. But there's a theory that someone might have pushed them over the cliff. The fence of the observation deck they fell from was quite sturdy. But if one of them was infected by the primitive parasite, he or she might have become violent and pushed the other over the cliff. The Shinto priest died from a disease, and his wife drowned herself in the third year. He might have died of shock because of hypersensitive reaction to the infection. His wife might have gone crazy and committed suicide when one of the symptoms, delirium, kicked in. In the fourth year, Satoshi Hojo's aunt was beaten to death, probably by Satoshi himself. Everybody who knew Satoshi-kun remembers how he changed at that time. He's shown signs of being both aggressive and delirious. The fifth year. For the first time in 5 years, the victim experienced the maggot disease, described in the old scroll of the Furude Shrine. The reason behind that isn't clear, but the stronger primitive parasite could have given its victims a delusion of maggots. This means that they finally managed to duplicate the curse of Oyashiro-sama after 5 years of research. Nomitake-san is the victim of the 5th year. He died in an extremely abnormal way, and I'm the only one who understands his death because I experienced the same thing. He kept clawing his throat trying to get rid of the maggots and died as a result. With all that explained, I finally understand the maggot disease I experienced at Ibaraki. I left Hinazawa and it made the parasite in me uncomfortable. As a result, it tried to resist even though it wasn't very strong, and it tried to make me homesick. But with my parents' divorce, I grew mentally unbalanced, and I completely lost the power to resist for a period of time. The parasite was weak and harmless, but my mental instability allowed it to worsen my symptoms dramatically. As a result, I went crazy and became violent. The delusion of Oyashiro-sama appearing to me in the bathroom was probably the terminal phase of my delirium. I created the supernatural existence Oyashiro-sama that I was instilled with when I was little. Then I persuaded myself to go back to Hinamizawa based on that delusion. Some of the transcendents of Onikafuji must have had the same kind of experience. They must have passed their experiences down as the acts of the god. I remember I once saw on TV that the indigenous people in South America used some kind of natural drug in order to have a mystical experience, and that they called it a ritual to communicate with their gods. So, what the fanatics are trying to do, spread the primitive parasites throughout Hinamizawa. I think that's their goal. I don't think they'll do that without letting people know about it. Religions need ceremonies. So, if they created what they wanted to create, and if they decided to spread it, I think they'd name it the Day of Oyashiro-sama's Revival, or something, and perform some kind of ceremony. It would be in celebration of the revival of Oyashiro-sama. That's a bad thing, isn't it? I think you can say that because they're trying to spread a very dangerous pathogen. Hey, isn't that bioterrorism? Jeez, this is very bad. They used it on Tomitake-san, confirming that they succeeded in duplicating the curse of Oyashiro-sama. So, that day of revival might be really soon. X to doubt? X to doubt what? What exactly are you doubting, Huntress? I don't know. It might happen in a few days, or it might take a year. This is way out of your league, Rena. Yes, and? Oh, okay. This is a very serious conspiracy. There's nothing we alone can do to stop them. Did you fix the VOD chant? I'm sorry, Bones, I have not. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Bones. Yeah, such as please help me. I'm sorry, Bones! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry. Bones. Bones. I'm sorry. Thank you. You're not a month behind. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm sorry, Bones. You did nothing wrong. You're amazing and wonderful, and I appreciate you so much. Are you still fighting the groundhog? Really? Do you think they'll believe us? It's their choice whether to believe us or not. No matter what, we have to tell them. Hey, Chicken. Oishi-san about this means telling him that I have the scrapbooks. Think that'd be a problem? Oishi-san came to me after Mio-san was murdered. When they killed Mio-san, they found out that her scrapbooks were missing. They also know that she met with me at the library a few days ago. No way. You mean... Yeah. Oishi-san could be one of them. It's possible that Oishi-san thinks I have the scrapbooks. He might be trying to find out. In fact, he looked very suspicious, and it seemed to me that he didn't really tell me everything. He only told me things to make me suspicious of the Sonozaki family. He could have just been trying to look like he was on my side, and that he's actually their minion. But the police are our only hope. Ichi-kun, you know about the case in the 4th year, don't you? Satoko-chan's aunt was murdered. I believe Satoshi-kun did it, but the police fingered a drug addict as the murderer. What do you think about that? Some of the fanatics are with the police. They fabricated the murder. It's the same with the autopsy of the Shinto priest, who they claim died from a disease, and the inspection of the accident site where the Hojo couple died. If the police are on their side, it opens the door to many perfect crimes. The 3 families have been maintaining pressure on the police since the dam conflict. You've heard from Michan that they also have considerable power over many organizations in Okinomiya, right? Yes, I have. It's not only me on it, many people do. They told me the Sonogazaki family holds influence over the whole city. That's right. You can't necessarily trust the people around here. Reddit, please. I want to make one thing clear before we go on. Are the Sonozaki family the masterminds behind all this? Does that mean Mion is involved too? Please tell me. I don't know if Mi-chan or Rika-chan are directly involved or not. All I can say for sure is that the fanatics have the power to control the nerve centers of all the 3 families, including the most powerful family of all, the Sonozaki. I'm not sure if the fanatics are controlling the 3 families, or if the 3 families are the fanatics themselves. As long as we're not sure about their involvement, it's better for us to be extra careful around them. Is that what you're saying? Yes. I'm not saying that I don't trust Mi-chan. She's usually very reliable, and I'd ask her for help with any problem, but not this one. What? This one is a little different. I don't know if you've seen it before, but although Mi-chan jokes around when she's with us, she can be a very cold person when she's acting as the successor of the Sonozaki family. Plus, even if she wasn't involved, we would put her in danger if we told her about this. If she was on our side, that'd be really encouraging. I think we should tell her. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't tell her until we confirm she's not one of them. Sure, it'd be great if we could pull her up to our side, but what if we couldn't? So, how are we going to fight against them? Well, this is a battle we don't stand a chance of winning to begin with. That's why I didn't want to get you involved. Damn it. Nakano-san left us a big parting gift, didn't she? But because of that, we know about the conspiracy. I believe this is her will. 2 kids challenging the mastermind who controls the village. This is gonna be tough. Ordinary methods won't work. But, Keiichi-kun, I'm glad to have you on my side. We can talk about it and plan things together. Of course. I've always been on your side. I'm your friend. I know. Thank you. You're very reassuring. 2 heads are better than 1. Yeah, I agree. We can come up with a plan for how we're going to fight against them together. I skipped school today because I wanted some time to read the scrapbooks again. But I'm going to school again tomorrow, and I'm going to act normal. They might sense something is wrong with me if I act different. You should do the same, Keiichi-kun. Please be careful with Mi-chan. She's sometimes very perceptive. Okay, I'll act normal as if I know nothing. But damn, I'm a bit scared. A huge conspiracy is right around the corner, and it might already be counting down to hard to act normal knowing that. I don't think it's going to happen very soon. Like I said earlier, if they really are religious fanatics, they need a religious ceremony. They need the help of the whole village to hold something like that. I can't think of any event other than Watanagashi. So you're saying that we have time at least until the next Watanagashi festival? I can't promise. I just can't think of any other event other than that. I think we have a year at least. But I also feel like we don't because of how they killed Mio-san. You might not know, but there might be a bigger religious event than Watanagashi. Might not be long until that day. On the day of Oishiro-sama's revival, they're going to spread a dangerous parasite, and that day might just be around the corner. Reina, you still on the phone? Wrap it up soon, it's getting late. My father stuck his head out of the living room telling me I need to hang up soon. What about telling him so many times? Natural to think your parents will be on your side no matter what. But I just know how weak he can get, so I couldn't tell him. I don't think he'd believe me anyway. Even if I told him, he'd just tell me to call the police. Better that I don't tell him. They might get close to my father to get me. If he didn't know anything about anything, including the scrapbooks, there'd be nothing to squeeze out of him to begin with. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun. I have to go now. It's getting late. I'll see you at school. Okay. See you tomorrow. Be careful, okay? You're not an outsider anymore. Yeah. I'll be careful. I remember the suspicious men in the white van and felt a chill running through my spine. They looked like villagers, but they weren't. They had the village accent, but they were just pretending. The more I thought about it, the more suspicious they became. Let me know that Renna and I aren't safe. Brenna's right, they're just suspicious of her, and they're not sure if she has the scrapbooks or not. But Ren had probably experienced the same creepiness I felt when I saw the van several times up until now. He must sense the danger more than I do. Huntress, thank you so much for donating to the Trans Lifeline. That's the bitch. To the Trans Lifeline, we, especially for Pride, we want all trans individuals to be able to be their true selves, without fear of, you know, or pride. Yeah. Without fear of not being accepted. We accept hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Quote one. However, the fact that they weren't attacking, that they were merely observing us, was disturbing. If they attacked her, she could have done something like going to the police. But all they're doing is just watching her from a distance. She can't do anything about it. She can't talk to anybody about it. She probably just wants to stay in her house all day. This. But if she acted different, they might take it as proof that she has the scrapbooks. We have to think about how to fight against them without making it obvious. I told myself that there's no going back, and I put the... I'm definitely getting the... But why did you scroll all the way back in chat to see that one? The nerve of this guy. The next day, Rena came to school acting normal like she said she would. I was distracted! Oh yeah, Bones? What are you distracted by? She talked with me on as cheerfully as she always did, and it made me wonder if the story she told me last night was a complication. That's because the story was too ridiculously crazy to believe. Story of my fucking life, I swear. So true. A certain individual. Oh yeah? Which of your crushes is it this time, Bone? Secrets are fun. They're no fun unless you blab them to everyone. This village is a very weird and rare endemic disease. There are religious fanatics who want to use the disease to revive your weird cult. I'll never tell. Yeah, sure. Let's see if for my own sake I can tell. Okay, that's interesting. Fine then, keep your secrets. Wait. Okay. Yeah, exclamation point story time.
I have no idea what is going on.
Rude. Okay, interesting. Alright, Bones. Okay, Bones. Okay, Bones. We'll see what happens. Okay. Never mind, Bones. You're off the hook. I have not received any sort of indication that I know who is distracting you. Congratulations. Wait a second. I have one more person that I... It was you? Yeah, alright, whatever. Okay, never mind. Alright, Buns, congratulations. You're off the hook. And they've been researching the pathogen of the endemic disease so they can spread it throughout the village. It was Huntress? Yeah, sure it was. I was deeply influenced by Rena last night. I believed everything she said. But thinking about it with a cool mind under the bright sunlight sounded too crazy to be true. Yeah, Bones wouldn't be able to text if it was me for real. That's true, that's true. The story Rena told me is based on Takano-san's crazy hand-me-down ideas, based entirely on her theories, which, though very feasible, have no evidence whatsoever. The fact that Takano-san was murdered lends credit to the story. I'll give you that, but... Looked at Mion. Yeah, frog. For real on God. Tight knots. True! She was fooling around with Rena. Hard to believe that she's involved in some crazy conspiracy. Hey, are you listening, Kei-chan? What? Sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Literally me. Wake up, sleepyhead. You need to get enough sleep or your brain stops working. And I'm gonna... this one's also something that I need to send to some Huntress. Ian made fun of me for reacting to. I'll try anything twice. It's impossible not to trust this bubbly, cheerful girl. I trust Mion. I trust my friends. I know she'd never have a hand in a crazy conspiracy like that. If she knew about it, she wouldn't be able to act this cheerful. Rena told me not to tell Mion because she might be one of them. It might be worth telling her without letting Rena. Of course, there's at least a 1% chance that the conspiracy is true and that Mion is one of them, so I'd be doomed. But if I had to choose between doing the crazy conspiracy theory and trusting my friends, my answer would be obvious. I know that my friend Mion isn't part of any conspiracy. She'd never be involved in something like that. But if the conspiracy exists, I'm sure Mion will be up. So whether or not it's true, it must be worth telling Mion about. Okay, Chi, we've already seen that path. Haven't tried me yet. Huh? Oh. What's going on, Kei-chan? Why did you call me out here? You told me not to tell anybody. You're not going to extort money from me, are you? So true, Bestie. Is that the first thing you think of when you're called out to the gymnasium storeroom? Oh, I know, you want to give me some love letter, don't you? People usually use the shoe locker for that, you know? We don't really do that in the city. A lot of guys hand over their love letters in person. Really? So wait, you're... Are you kidding me? That's not why I called you here. I have to talk to you about something very important. I want you to listen without making fun of me. What is it? You know that there are people who want to revive the cult of Oyashiro-sama? Huh? What? What are you talking about? This, of course, was just my way of getting a feel for the situation. I wanted to see how she was going to react by getting straight to the point. Mion really did look puzzled. People wouldn't normally react like this if someone pointed out their secret out of the blue. They always panic, if only just a little. Either Mion was a brilliant actress, or she really didn't have anything to do with the idea of reviving Oyashiro-sama. I decided to tell her everything. Mion, your family, the Sonozaki family, has a lot of influence in this region, including Hinamizawa, right? Do you think there's a possibility that they're working to revive the cult of Oyashiro-sama behind? Revive? Why? Well, you know, people today don't worship Oyashiro-sama like the people in the old days did. So people like fundamentalists might be trying to make people worship Oyashiro-sama in the same ways with Onigafuchi. Okay, back to wrestling animals in the Cardi B. Okay, have fun. Yeah, go fight that groundhog. Don't lose. What? Wait a second. I have no idea what you're talking about. You sure? You really have no idea what I'm talking about? Of course I don't. Sounds like one of those popular novels that sold 5 million copies over in America. Anne's reaction was very natural. It seemed impossible she was pretending she didn't know anything about it. But regardless, I continued. Well, there are people like that in this village for real. Do you know anything about them? You're saying that those people want to make us worship Oyashiro-sama like the people of Onigafuchi did. What good will that do? You know, I think it means a lot to people who really believe. But think about it, Kei-chan. Who'd be happy to live under those strict ancient rules? In this day and age, it's almost impossible to live without leaving the village. But, for example, think about Rika-chan. All the old people say she's a reincarnation of Oyoshiro-sama, right? Those people might be religious fanatics, and... Are you talking about old man Kimiyoshi? Well, I know he's a deeply religious man for sure, but he isn't a fanatic. Believe me, there really are people who are trying to revive the cult of Oyoshiro-sama. Okay, I'll believe you for now because I want to hear the rest. Go on. Found out that the curse of Oyoshiro-sama was just an endemic disease unique to this village, so now they're researching the pathogen. Where? First of all, what's an endemic disease? What's a pathogen? Oh, gross. I was getting confused. Didn't know what I was talking about myself anymore. Deeply influenced by Rena last night, and I believed everything she said. But, having said it all out loud, I started to realize how impossible the story is. What's going on with you? Did Mio-san tell you all this? How did you know? She's infamous for this kind of thing. She's an occult maniac. She always makes up crazy stories. You people have gotten badly taken in by her before. She told me some of her stories once, and I remember they were actually very interesting. Is that true? I think you've heard about this once or twice before, but this village had a unique culture back in the old days. They did a lot of oppressive things, like having very strict rules, very strict punishments, and a bunch of other cruel traditions. They're well known among the cult maniacs. Mio-san is one of them. So, the story I heard about the weird parasite that controls the village was... What? Parasite? Is that a new story she came up with? What do you mean, new story? I told you, Mio-san is an occult maniac. She studies the weird legends surrounding Onigafuchi, and enjoys making up hypotheses, theories, and wild stories about them. She has created a lot of different ones aside from that theory that parasites are controlling the village. One I heard an awful while back was about UFOs. That one was interesting since it connected a lot of different dots. The story was about a UFO that crashed into Onigafuchi Swamp long ago, the alien that was in the UFO, and the villagers had a battle, or something like that. One of those sci-fi horror B-movies. The one Santago heard was a theory about creatures from the bottom of the ocean. A movement in the Earth's crust opened up a connection between the underwater world and Onigafuchi, and the princess of the underworld fell in love with a young man in the village. It was like a sci-fi version of Romeo and Juliet. The story about the parasites you just heard must be a new one. I hope she makes all of them into a book one day. Anne began laughing so hard that she had to hold her stomach. As I looked at her laughing like that, I realized I fell for something that ridiculous. At that point, it was obvious. I had been completely taken in. I'm sorry, Mian, but please answer my questions. First, do the fanatics who are trying to revive the cult of Oyoshiro-sama exist? No, they don't. I mean, it's totally the opposite. 3 families have agreed to open Hinamizawa to outsiders in order to make this village thrive. I'm not supposed to tell anybody about this, but there's a project to build a new highway by the end of the 20th century. The Nozaki family is promoting its construction without informing the villagers. If all goes well, this whole area will flourish. My grandma's betting that she'll make a fortune when it comes to when it causes land prices in the region to skyrocket. Well, most of the work will happen in the 21st century, so I'll likely end up taking over the project. So, you don't think there are people who hate outsiders? I told you, there are no such people. What makes you think they want to make this village more inconvenient than it already is? In fact, we've already started selling the lands of the village to rich people who want to build country residences here. Your house is on the first lot we sold. Hey, Chan. Didn't the villagers welcome you? The 3 families are trying to do everything they can to stop young people from leaving the village. Nothing vague about what Mian said. Her stories makes a lot more sense than Takano-san's delusional theories. So, Mian's words woke me up to that delusion. So, what about this? I heard that the residents of Hinamizawa have extraordinary high levels of something in their blood, and it proves they're infected by parasites. Really? How did Mio-san figure that out? Takano-san's a nurse. I'm sure she could do that. And do you think anyone would give her blood samples for no reason? I sure don't. Even if she could get blood samples somehow, how and where would she examine them? How many blood samples do you think she examined all by herself? I was right. I couldn't believe it. I thought Takano-san could do all that just because she was a nurse. It took me hard to believe that she was getting that many blood samples and did a high-level examination like that without any help. When I thought about it rationally, I shouldn't have believed such a ridiculous story so easily. I heard that people here don't get hay fever, which is proof that they're being infected by a parasite. Only people in cities get hay fever. I heard it had something to do with fuel emissions. Hey, Chan, you're talking about Hinamizawa. I mean, even people in Okinomiya don't get hate beef, I think. But what about this? I heard that the Sonozaki family has a death squad and that they kidnapped the grandson of the government minister once. That sounds cool. I wish I had a squad like that. Even I was sounding ridiculous. I believed all of it last night. I believed it because Rena looks very serious. It's true that the grandson of the minister was found in Katsudo. We didn't do it. We just acted as if we did. What do you mean? Please explain. Okay. The Onigafuchi Guardians protested violently during the dam conflict. They did something close to terrorism as well, but there were people who used the resistance movement for their own benefits. They used the name of the Onigafuchi Guardians to rob people of money and valuables. Onigafuchi Guardians were a very aggressive force at that time. A high possibility that some people thought they could use the name to extort money. And the kidnapping case was one of those incidents. The kidnappers thought they could stifle the police investigation by acting like they were the Onigafuchi Guardian. They kidnapped the boy to demand a ransom. To tell you the truth, the members of the Onigafuchi Guardians are all very surprised. They were actually impressed that those guys actually pulled it off. I remember they even said they'd given him an award. Well, wait a second. So the Onigafuchi Guardians had nothing to do with the kidnapping? No, not at all. Neon said it firm. It was a simple and clear answer. There's no room for suspicion. Thinking about it, it was nothing surprising. Kidnapping the grandson of a minister and negotiating with him in person. The Onigafuchi Guardians were a very aggressive group, but the operation was so easy that it could be carried out by any of the normal residents of Hinamizawa. It was obviously the work of professional criminals, without a doubt. And like I said earlier, the Sonozaki family acted as if we were the mastermind for the kidnapping case. What do you mean by that? And this is the secret precept of the Sonozaki family. Can't tell anybody about this, okay? When an incident like this happens, we traditionally act as if we're responsible for it. It's the tradition of bluffing. Bluffing? Really? It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it works out in our favor, it can be a criminal incident, the weather, or even lottery numbers. We act as if it happened because the Sonozaki family wanted it to happen. Starts to sound like we're a very powerful organization, doesn't it? And that's the point. This is the secret strategy that only the Sonozaki family head knows about. This strategy is meant to make us look bigger and stronger than we really are. So, what about the plan they had during the dam conflict, the one to attack the Ministry of Construction? Was that true? I heard that they obtained weapons and even trained for it. That was the spin we put on it. There's no way we could actually carry out a crazy plan like that. Our real goal was to make people believe that we were capable of doing things like that, so we could exact pressure on the government. That's all. They obtained weapons and went through training just so they can exact pressure. They had no intention of actually carrying out the plan. The Ozaki family was just bluffing. Makes sense. Of course it did. It's impossible to attack the Ministry of Construction. Even if they did, it wouldn't solve the problem. All I had to do was use common sense. Even if they did, they would have been crushed within seconds by a huge number of policemen. Why didn't I think of that? What about the weapons and the training? As for the weapons, no comment. But we did go through training. We needed to do that in order to make the bluff look real. We gathered some younger men from my father's office and appointed Kasai-san as leader of the group. We went to a desert in Texas, played war games with some instructors, and went sightseeing in San Francisco afterward. So, I couldn't think of it. It was obvious now. No, Rena and I both. We were fooled by the scrapbooks of time. Rena was so serious about it, so I believed her. We examined it closely, there were so many. I couldn't believe Rena took a delusion like that so seriously. I knew the reason why, though. She was still in a state of shock after being caught with the corpses that she was mentally unstable. Then she came across this tall tale, and Rena's a smart girl. She wouldn't have taken it seriously if she was stable. Plus, another thing happened to wake me up from... The white van I saw yesterday came to school during the lunch break. 4 men in work uniforms over there, too. Thank you to Mian and followed them. The man who talked to me yesterday knocked on the door of the teacher. Hello, I'm from the Okinogi Gardeners. Oh, thank you for coming. Very hot today, isn't it? Sure is. By the way, you look very beautiful today, as always. Thank you. You can start whenever you're ready. Yes, we'll start right away. My account manager told me to give this to you. Oh, and the invoice, I see. Date is left blank on both of them. Oh, there shouldn't be any problem. Thank you so much. Alright, we'll start right away. I was talking to Chie-sensei with a big smile. Hmm? What are you doing here, baby? Oh, Principal. Who is that guy? Principal pointed his finger up. When I looked out, I heard the noise of an engine start. The noise was coming from the engine of a motorized lawnmower. I saw a young man in work uniforms taking another lawnmower, some brooms, and a ladder out of the van. They're gardeners. You haven't taken care of the grass around the fence and the trees for a long time. I wanted to clean them up before summertime. Principal, thank you for giving us a call. The man noticed the principal, took off his hat, and bowed. No need. I trust your work. Please take care of things. Oh, I think we can finish it today. We might make a lot of noise, though. Each worker took one of the tools and walked toward the fence where the grass was growing. The engine of the lawnmower was very loud, and the kids who were playing in the schoolyard looked at it curiously. Hey, it's dangerous out there. Out here, go back to your classroom. Chie-sensei handed an envelope with the documents in it to the principal. The Okinogi Gardeners, green on the end. Principal, please sign the invoice and drop it off at their office next time you go to the town hall. Of course, will do. Ah, Chie-sensei. They come here yesterday? Yes, they came here to look at the grass late in the afternoon. Told me they got lost on the way back because they tried to take a shortcut. The village has a lot of small roads branching off everywhere. They can be very confusing. I remember when I first came here, Chie started talking about when she got lost and they laughed together. There was never anything suspicious to begin with. I thought they were suspicious yesterday. Rena had told me. At first, I thought it wasn't unusual to see a white van. Then, right after I heard her creepy story, I saw the white van parked on the road and I got scared. Gardeners weren't familiar with the roads of Okinawa, and they got lost trying to take a shortcut on their way back. That's all. It totally twisted around? I believed that fake second-thing story. I believed that the Sonozaki family was working behind the scenes, and I fabricated the existence of a group of fanatical believers in them. Worse, I doubted Mia. Damn it, I'm such a fool. My friend. We took each other's hands that day, saying we were a family made of friends, and that friends were friends no matter what. I said that, but then I doubted my friend. Anyway, Rena was the problem. She also needed to wake up from this crazy delusion. I had to hurry and wake her up. And it seemed like she had no mind to listen to anyone else. She truly believes that the Sonozaki family are the masterminds of this large-scale conspiracy. What about literally they asked about Rena? They literally asked specifically about Rena, who had white outfit, a white hat with a ribbon on it. That's still fucking suspicious. I remember the plate number of the white van. I also remembered their faces. Without a doubt, this is one of the vans that have been following me. So far, I've confirmed that 3 of 4 cars have been following me. I especially recall this white van because it followed me around the longest. The people who are in the other cars must be the lookouts, and the ones in this van must be tasked with direct contact like kidnapping or assassination. The lookouts secure the surroundings, and the ones in the van attack the target. That's a common maneuver involved in both kidnapping and assassination. The scrapbooks said that. If so, I'd better watch out because it was them, not the lookouts, who came to the premises. I think they'll attack me while I'm in the school. They're in the early stage of their covert operation now, hiding their fangs and claws in the last stage of their horrifying scheme. That's why they won't take action in the school where people are watching. But it looked like they were talking with Chie-sensei in a very friendly way. I could only hear bits and pieces of their conversation, but it sounded very suspicious. I can remember the chatter and the movements of their mouth. I played my memory of it like a videotape in my mind. Hello. Oh, thank you for coming. Very hot today, isn't it? Wubber, wubber, wubber. Thank you, buns. Sure is. You today.
You're such a good girl.
Thank you, Bones. Appreciate it. Ah. Oh, drink some water. Thank you. Well, you can start whenever you're ready. Yes, we'll start right away. My account manager told me to give you this. And I see. Is left blank on. There shouldn't be any problem. Thank you so much. Alright, well. I used the information I had to guess what was going on. Played the video again and again in my mind, and also paused it and played it in slow motion again. I checked many times. Then something unbelievably horrifying started to emerge. There's no doubt that they're acquainted with Chie-sensei. I've never seen them visit the school before, so it's hard to believe that Chie-sensei is their contact. There's no doubt that they're the death squad under the direct control of the Sonozaki. They have a local accent which proves they were chosen from the Sonozaki. The death squad was talking with Chie-sensei. They know each other. What's their relationship? Who's Chie? Anyway, during the dam conflict, Hinamizawa's school was closed and it was merged into one in Okinomiya. But the Onigafuchi Guardians didn't accept that, and they made a part of the forestry service building school. But, needless to say, the school they made didn't have a teacher. It was only going to be a token form of resistance. But a teacher who had a strong passion for education felt sorry for the children, and she came to work there. That was Rumiko Chie-sensei. It was obviously strange. Teachers are government employees, and they normally belong to their prefectures. As long as they lie low and don't cause trouble, they don't get fired and they don't get demoted. They can work up until the official retirement age, and they're guaranteed to get a fixed retirement fund. She was one of the government employees, but she defied the Board of Education and came to work for Hinamizawa. The villagers admire her as a teacher of passion. I heard that Oryo Sonozaki herself successfully negotiated with the Board of Education that suspended Chie-sensei for defying their orders. It was easy to get an answer from this by connecting the dots. Chie-sensei was recruited by Oryo Sonozaki as a teacher to work at the school Onigafuchi Guardians had created. In other words, she was already working for Oryo before she came. As for the principal, he was the principal of the school in Hinamizawa from the beginning. He's a respected person from this region. He's been closely associated with the three families for a long time. That means this school's been under the control of the Sonozaki family all along. That's why Chie-sensei is acquainted with the death squad. Makes sense now. Chie-sensei confirmed that I came to school today, made a phone call, and called them here. I don't want to know why she called them. If she called them just to monitor me, they'd wait near the gate until class was over. But they came onto the school premises. Why? Not pretending to be a fool, Renner Yugu. You think nothing will happen if you pretend not to notice it? Think hard. Calm down, Renner Yugu. What will they do to me? What will they try to do to me today in school? In school? How are they going to do anything with my classmates and friends around? It's easy. Chie-sensei will tell me to come to the teacher's office during the last class of the day. What about my clubmates? That's easy too. Chie-sensei can easily make them go home early using her authority as a teacher. She can make up any reason she wants to. Maybe the classroom is going to have carpentry work done today, so they can't stay in school. Stories. You died. Thank you. You can start whenever you're ready. See, there's no doubt. They clearly said they're ready to do it today. And what else? Yes, we'll get started right away. The account manager told me to give you this. And I see. Is left blank on. There shouldn't be any problem. Thank you so much. I see. They gave Chie-sensei an envelope with some documents. That blank is an eerie phrase. Was my name supposed to be in the blank? Why is it left blank? What does that mean? I told you, Renner Yugu. You still think that nothing will happen if you pretend not to notice it? Stop that. No, what it must mean is that it's an order from higher up. Just to make Renner Yugu become blank. I took a peek from the shadows and I saw the principal taking documents out from the envelope. He started reading them. He looked stern. He looked very serious. I wished I could take a peek at the documents, but I was too far. I kept looking at him just to see if he'd react at all. And then the envelope caught my eye. The envelope said Okanogi Gardeners, and it had some numbers that looked like a phone number. Fortunately, I have good eyesight. I memorized the number. If they're the death squad, the gardening company must be a camouflage occupant. It probably doesn't even exist. I wanted to find out. I looked for a phone. Only one phone, and it's in the teacher. Fortunately, the teachers were chatting in the hallway looking at the gardeners. It was now or never. I made sure nobody was watching me go into the teacher's office. I rushed in and grabbed the phone on the principal's desk. I went over the phone number in my head and dialed it up. I'm glad they have a touch tone phone. It would have been difficult if it was a rotary dial. Somebody answered. I'd only have to ask, is this Okanogi Gardeners? I'd wait for the answer before hanging up. Cheesy. It connected. The number you dialed is... I felt a cold chill run through my body from the bottom of my... Wait, don't make a good judgment. I might have entered the number wrong. No, I know I remembered it right. It was an easy number to remember. But I remember it wrong. And did I dial it wrong? I put the phone down and started over. This time I dialed the numbers more slowly. Teachers might be coming back at any time. In that situation, it was risky to do anything slowly. But I needed to make absolute sure. The number you dialed is... It's the same. There's no doubt. The company Okanogi Gardeners doesn't exist. It's the camouflage occupation for the Sonozaki family's death squad. Make sure you know. The number you dialed is correct. The number you dialed is... I was too stunned to put down the receiver, The announcement kept running over and over again. The voice was cold and creepy. I hung with the phone and rushed out of the teacher's office. I ran to the bathroom and had my head in an attempt to cool down. Calm down, Rena. Calm down, Rena Ryugu. Stay cool. Rena Ryugu. I wasn't safe here anymore. If I stayed here, I might be erased, even in the open. Erased? Why? They aren't certain I have the scrapbooks. Hi. Well, Keiichi-kun, where I hid the scrapbooks. Yesterday I told him I hid them in the hideout. Garbage dump. Keiichi-kun in cahoots with Sonozaki family? I felt as if my head was a pot that was cooking some dubious stew. There was only soup in my brain. I cut up clues, information, and facts just like I cut vegetables. Threw them into a pot. Some of them were floating on the surface, and others were at the bottom of the pot. They were being cooked in a boiling soup. No, it can't be. Keiichi-kun is on my side. He's the only one who's on my side. He held out his hand to me at the trash pile. There's no lie in that hand. When he grabbed my wrist, I felt nothing but his strong and pure heart. He promised me he'd be on my side. I shouldn't doubt Keiichi-kun. He's the only one I should trust. He's the only one on my side. I'm sorry. And I was about to doubt you. I'm really sorry. So sorry. I said it out loud on purpose. Full of regret that I doubted Keiichi-kun, the only one who's on my side. Now that I think about it, whether I have the scrapbooks or not might not matter to them. Erase anyone who is this way. That's the safest way. Does that mean they're in a hurry? The day of Oyashiro-sama's revival might be just around the corner. And that's why they're trying to get rid of the small fish bones that are stuck in the throat by any means before it's too late. You don't need her anymore. Just erase her if you're so worried. I could easily picture Oyo Sonozaki saying that. Sure. Oh, she did say that. That's why they're here today. What should I do? What should I do? Should I wait until school's over? I was like a fish in a pond. No matter how many times I escaped from the net, I was in the pond, and they owned the pond. I didn't stand a chance. Then what should I do now? I couldn't keep escaping from the net, so I should get out of the pond. I didn't know how to fight them. I didn't know who's on my side. I was about to get fair. For now, I have to think about how to survive this. So I'd at least have time to think about how to fight against them. I have to get out of this pond. When I was about to leave the bathroom, one of my classmates came. I pretended to be sick and talked to the girl while leaning in the wall. I don't feel so. I think I better go home. Can you tell Chie-sensei I left school early? I shouldn't let Chie-sensei know that I'm leaving school early if I'm trying to run away from them. But if I didn't, they might think I ran away with cause. That might lead to them to chase after me without mercy. If that happens, I don't stand a chance. They were planning to capture me after school's over, but I happened to feel sick and left school early. If they took it that way, they wouldn't think I noticed the news tightening around me. I was about to go back to the classroom and get my bag, then changed my mind and turned around. I didn't need my bag. I realized nobody was watching me, so I stopped pretending to be sick and started running. Sensei, take a look at this. Take a look. Something wrong with the documents? Yes, the date on the quote of the invoice is 11, and the invoice are left blank. They're supposed to put today's date here. Oh, they won't leave them blank. They said they couldn't put the same date on the quote in the invoice. They're told to leave them blank by general phase. Okay then. And this, the phone number on the invoice is different from the one on the envelope. Know which is the correct one? Oh, I didn't notice that. Hello, excuse me. Yes? What's the matter? The phone number on the invoice is different from the one on the envelope. Which one's correct? Oh! That's the one on the invoice. I used the old envelope we used to use as a reformer office. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It was our part-timer to add a stamp with a new phone number, but I guess she forgot. Apologize for the confusion. Can you just erase the number? Since it's pretty, I wish I looked up. Take out list number 3. Fish in a pond, make run. The danger of a cultural burn syndrome lies in the fact that it can easily trigger delusional misidentifications. That is to say, in the current case, every time the patient sees something trivial, she tries to interpret it as a curse. And it's believed that as a result of the accumulation of these events in an understandable form, a delusional system is created, ultimately leading to paranoia. Furthermore, the patient is also exhibiting slight signs of personality disorder. Of course, it's a very mild level, and it's not causing any hindrance whatsoever to the patient's daily life. It's common for even healthy individuals to have primary delusions in their daily lives, but they usually ignore it automatically without recognition, since those delusions are nonsensical. However, there are cases where these delusions accumulate despite being incomprehensible. It largely depends on particular characteristics of the individual, and is believed that the patient shows relatively strong characteristics in the area. I believe you're very much aware that primary delusions are categorized into types. Delusional mood is the feeling of impending crisis without basis. Delusional intuition is the feeling of a sense of duty or goals without basis. Delusional perception is the feeling of baseless cause against the baseless target. In the patient's case, it's believed that these incomprehensible delusions accumulated acted out simultaneously with the culture-bound syndrome, which triggered delusional misidentifications, and it ultimately caused the incomprehensible delusions to become understandable by interpreting them as a curse. Comprehensible delusional system introduces understandable secondary delusions, further strengthening the patient's delusional system with the passage of time. The delusional parasitosis mentioned earlier can be considered a secondary delusion. A common factor of all cases, paranoia, is that even after an outbreak, they still appear perfectly normal with no change in their personalities. Patients are unaware of their own ailments, and due to their personal interpretations of their delusional system, there are many cases where patients arm themselves illogically, making it extremely difficult for a third party to point out that they're having a delusion. Furthermore, although it may depend on the tendency of delusions, there are also cases where a persecutory delusion turns into a pursuit delusion, or a conspiracy delusion, resulting in the patient creating an imaginary enemy and taking up an antisocial behavior. For example, there are cases where believers of a religious cult were deeply influenced by the cult founder's paranoid visions, which shifted the group into a conspiracy delusion, and that made them conduct antisocial behavior in the name of self-defense. Although no such cases have been reported in Japan yet, could very well happen in India. Fortunately, the patient hasn't reached that serious condition as of now. Proper treatment, she should be able to make a full recovery. Please make sure that her father also understands this. It's an unusual case, but something caused by an accumulation of a number of innocent factors that anyone could have. The patient can be treated only by deepening her bond with her father. As long as she has that bond, she can certainly be treated. For the reasons above, if the patient is to return to her home village, I strongly recommend that the patient continue to receive guidance from specialist medical institutions. Please excuse me for writing such a long letter. Thank you for reading this until the very end. No problem, I got you, homie. Alright, fuckers, it's nap time. It's nap time, nap time. Bed? Question mark? There's like literally no way playing this right now, right? You're playing them. Alright, who am I? Who? I think it's been a while since I read. Okay, okay. Read. Alright, fuckers. I might stream. I'm just M1 E. M1 Nap time. Alright, fuckers. I love you. Please copy the raid message if you are here. We're gonna go say hi to cousin. Sushi was invented by crying farmers. I'm so for a nappy nap. Alright, like I said, I might show up tomorrow. Tomorrow. I might show up again later. Just keep an eye on that. Otherwise, I'll see you on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday for the last Phoenix Wright ever. Hi, fish. I hope you've had a enjoyable experience. I hope that your day is going well. I'm gonna go bed. Bed question mark? No, bed exclamation point. Yeah, I'm glad. Always nice to have you here. Go bed. Yeah, go bed. Bed question mark? No, bed exclamation. Okay, I love you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.